Last time you left. I've forgotten the name of it. Incredible. The other town, Holton. You left Holton after Llewellyn went missing. Promptly found Llewellyn dead in a field. Uh, Took a stone out of his mouth and made your way over to Shoreby, where you found there was a festival going on, found some lodgings, was stared at by a creepy person wearing a mask. Went to see what the festival was about, got stared at some more by a creepy person with a mask, found an umbilical cord randomly, and then had a child stab their mother to death.
Allegedly.
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 And where we left off, you were deciding what to do from there. I believe Tulip wanted to go with the child. There was some talk about investigating where the woman worked.
Yes, Tulip would like to go with the murdered child, please. Where is the murdered child? Ah, there. Okay.
I think Ziga would like to follow up on the place of the crime, or not the place of the crime, but the investigating the family's home.
If we
Because
know.
I'm imagining in this sort of situation, it's one of those situations where somebody's home and their building, the workshop is the same place.
Possible, I guess. The only issue is we don't actually. I mean, okay. Does. Assuming we ended off right in the middle of things last time, the woman is still likely, like her body is still here. Does she have anything on her that would be indicative of anything like, other than the awl that the child was holding? Is there anything indicative of her profession or something that seems like it may have, well, anything that points to our identity? I guess.
Not visibly on her. Are you gonna go rifling through a recently murdered woman's pockets in the middle of the street?
No, but I may have planted the idea in someone's head now.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna ask, like, you know what I just realized? Is we're going about this no, wait, that's right. We did cover that. Okay. Now I was gonna say we're going about this assuming that she's a resident of the town and not somebody that's coming in from afar, and then I did some mental calculations and realized that you wouldn't really travel with an awl unless you're literally like a traveling tailor, because it's kind of one of those objects that you kind of keep with your workshop.
Right.
So more than likely she lives in town, and then we isolated it down to like there's two tailor places.
Yes.
Right.
So
yes. I recall
we only
now.
really have to go to two locations.
Right. That's where
Yeah.
we're at.
So I mean, it would be nice if does anybody nearby that happen to either be the guards themselves or some of the people that were looky-loos after the fact. Do anybody recognize the woman and the child? Like, do they know them by name?
Are you asking them or are you trying to pick up on it?
Yes.
You are
No,
literally
no,
you're going
I'm
around
asking
asking
them.
them. Could you do a diplomacy for me?
Yeah.
Did I ever give her a name?
Oh my goodness.
Not that I know of, no.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's a nice
goodness.
one.
You know, a couple of people do react as it
Assurance.
as though they know her, or at least know of her, but their response is basically to tell you to fuck off. She's just laying there dead on the floor. This is not the time.
Can Tulip try?
Yes.
It's gonna fuck us over, isn't it? Okay.
You can't do any worse than Ziggit did.
It's true.
Do you want to fucking bet? Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, nice 18.
You get much the same response, but with less swearing. You suspect you're getting a similar response because Zigga did just roll up and be like, "Hey, yo, do you know where this dead bitch lives?"
I didn't.
That's
I,
true.
I
think
would
I
say
probably wouldn't do
I
that.
didn't say that, but more than likely with the way I rolled, apparently that's what I said.
Yeah, where the dead bitch at?
And well, like you sort of walk back over to Chris, and Chris just sort of looks at you, and you go, "Yeah, I don't know why I said that."
Yeah, it's just like I understand that it's a game and you have to have it be a game, but there is such a wide variety of different results of rolling a 1 versus rolling a 20, and you would think that a character in general would be more consistent in their behavior than
Well,
the result of a 1 or a roll of a 20.
it's
You know?
it's not just your character's behavior; it's how the people around you have happened to interpret it as well.
Right.
And like she sat there with like a few hundred stab wounds. And
Yeah, no,
it's
it's just a function of a a D20 game. Like, I mean, even just making a jump, the results between a 1 and a 20 are so wildly disparate compared to real life, and attempting to make a similar jump in real life, you're going to be far more consistent. You're not going to like if you're competing for like a track and field competition or whatever,
if
you're not going
if
to.
you're competing for a track and field competition, then you're doing it almost in a laboratory environment. If you're trying to make a long jump in a slippery, wet, dark cave, there's going to be a hell of a lot more variance.
Yeah, fair enough.
Either way, people aren't really open to talking about it right now. At least,
that's
I mean,
not
I mean,
here.
I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
I'm gonna
Zigga's going
wander to the nearest one of the two fabric shops they pointed us at.
Sure. The nearest, well, the easiest one to get to for you is actually on the surface.
Sure, okay. I mean, I will sort of let everyone know that's what I'm doing, and then just wander off. Like,
Okay, well, Zigga was going to do the same thing. That was kind of his thing. He's going to do the digging and find out if they're inhabited, because if they're inhabited, they're likely not what we're looking for, unless it's like part of the full family.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, he's going to do some basic interrogation of people. I mean, interrogation being like questioning, asking, not like literally pulling a lamp down and
Trapping them.
shining lights in people's eyes and stuff.
Sure.
And if it's not occupied, he's going to break in.
Okay, well, hold that thought for just a minute. What's B doing? Is B going with?
B is gonna go along with Tulip, in case there's anything. Well, it looks like the above ground situation is probably handled between the two of the other two, so might as well at least make it even.
Okay. And Tulip does still want to go with the boy to...
Yes.
Okay. Let's do that first then. So the guards are going to not quite frog march, but carefully escort the boy to the main guard guardhouse on this side of the underground, which is, let's just pull out a Tulip over there. And they're gonna wash him off a bit. Oh no, that was already done, wasn't it? That was prestidigitation, I believe.
Yes.
yeah, I cleaned him up.
It was pressed.
They're gonna search him, and they're gonna put him in a holding cell and be like, we need to get someone a bit more senior to deal with this.
Does he ever start to even develop a inkling of consciousness? Or is he just walking like a zombie?
He's
basically?
he's totally zombie right now. Not like mind control zombie, more like I just
Right.
watched myself stab my mother to death zombie.
I can't
Oh,
be
so
right.
he's okay. So, but did he ever like? Was he always like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so he was from the very beginning out of
Looking
it in the sense
for-
that he was like immediately cognizant of his actions and in shock because of them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
enough.
Would you like to do anything as they are finding someone more senior?
I mean,
Well,
maybe
we've
listen
already-
around, see if anybody's talking about it at the air quote station.
Oh yeah, everyone's talking about it. It's the most exciting thing to have happened all day.
Is there any information that might actually be worthwhile?
You hear a name. You hear the name Clarissa, and you hear the name Ben.
Mm,
Hmm.
And you hear how it's an awful shame, and no one was expecting it, and it's very, very odd. And why did he even have the awl?
Anything about the masked person?
Nope.
Hmm. Okay.
yeah, B was gonna specifically like be looking around while they're walking to the station for any signs of someone making suspicious movements. Instead of trying to like listen around or investigate the boy or anything like that. If they're already when they're already there, she's just gonna sit quietly for now, and she is kind of gonna like watch the boy to see if he reacts in any way to his surroundings, but I think that's unlikely.
Do me a perception for looking at stuff on the way there.
Okay.
You don't see anything particularly untoward, just a lot of shocked citizens.
Yes, yes.
The news is traveling at the speed of gossip.
To be expected.
And by the time everything's kind of in motion at the guardhouse, the boy is starting to whimper a little bit and kind of wake up a little.
No must comfort.
Unfortunately, he's on the other side of some very sturdy iron bars.
Well, can I like kneel down and talk to him at least?
Yes, you can.
He, can I ask him if his name is Ben?
He nods and sniffles.
Okay. I don't want to ask him how he's feeling because that's literally the dumbest fucking question. Do you remember anything about what happened?
He nods.
Okay. You don't like they're gonna ask you to talk about it eventually. You don't have to with me, but people are gonna want to know at some point. Can I get you anything? Maybe some water?
I want my mummy.
I'm dying. I hate you.
Oh my god! Oh boy!
Oh no. I'm sorry, sweetie.
He's gonna kind of look in his direction, sigh, and look away while this is happening.
Oh no.
Such
Instead
an
of watching after their feet.
inconvenience.
No, it's just it's hard to have the right words for this situation. You know, what do you say when someone stabs their mom to death by accident?
By accident.
Quote, I mean, with air quotes, but I mean, we don't know how it happened. It could be.
I mean, I guess.
Let's see what Ziggo and Chris are up to.
Not suffering as much.
Oh.
So you are. I kind of wish I had these on different maps now, but whatever. We'll go with it. You make your way up to the above ground, and the closest fabric place, the closest tailor's, is just north of the entrance you come through.
But so up, is it this building
It's
thing here?
It's this one here. Literally, you came out of.
Oh, literally the one right
Yeah,
next to
you,
it.
You came out of that one, and it's literally right here.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess we'll knock on the door. If it's a shop, I guess we'll just go in.
Yeah, the door is open. It is. It isn't a shop, but it is a place of business. And it isn't locked up or anything. There's people around hustling and bustling.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll go directly inside.
Okay. No one's really paying you a whole lot of attention on account of them being exceptionally busy.
Okay. So, I mean, if this is the place of business for them, and the news probably would have already traveled to this spot already, given that people were running away and likely would have already got here. Can we hear people chattering about, this shop being the place where they were from?
You can hear people chattering about it. There's no explicit confirmation that this is where they work. But everyone's very shocked and unhappy about it.
Okay. Who is the proprietor? Or is there one at the moment?
There is. It is a matronly-looking elven woman who is bossing people around and trying to keep people productive enough to meet their client demands.
Okay. Just listening to her for a while. I'm going to listen to her for a while to see if we can get confirmation about whether or not she Clarissa, but I don't know the name of that yet. Worked here.
Are you trying to do this covertly, or are you just sat in the lobby listening to her?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not trying explicitly to be covert.
You don't get anything immediately, and then she kind of spots you, and then looks around a bit, and then comes over and is like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm trying to investigate the murder that just took place, and I'm trying to determine whether or not the individual that was killed worked at your establishment.
Oh yeah, you with the guard?
No, I'm an adventuring group that just happened to be nearby, and we're working with the guard, but we're not part of the guard.
Oh, wow. Well, she didn't work here. Oh, she did for a bit, but
Did she work at the other location in town?
yeah, they pay a little better if you've got the right skills.
Okay. What was her name?
Clarissa.
Okay. And her son? Were
Ben.
you familiar with them?
Oh yeah, no, they though that kid was around here fairly often. She couldn't really afford a childcare.
Was he being trained in her work?
Not really. I don't think so. Not while she was working here.
Okay. And he'll probably ask some other basic questions and stuff like that, but I don't think we really need it. It's probably not relevant.
Sure.
And just make some conversation and then end the conversation.
Sure.
Did she have a home somewhere else other than where she worked currently, or do you know if that?
Yeah, last I checked, she was in South End of the Underground.
Okay. Could you point it out to me, and then I something approximating a map and.
Yes, she will. Let me put us back on the other one. She will point you to that building.
Okay. And so Zega will, thank her and then also confer with Chris that we have two different locations to look at now. We've got the workshop that she actually worked at, and then we've got her home.
I mean, sure.
I guess we could stop by her home first, because that more than likely will be far less busy and also more likely to yield results between the two of them. Okay, so
yeah, sure, that's fine.
I mean, do you have a differing opinion?
Not really, but I don't know if either one is more likely to give us a good answer. So.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any reason to believe that we're going to find information at either one of those locations, but I'm trying to think of ways that we can get information, and what I'm hoping for is that we'll find some sort of indication as to what caused Ben to go crazy.
Sure.
And I'm suspecting it'll be an external source based off the fact that we found that umbilical cord and the guy. I'm assuming that those are related, but I don't have any.
I hope so. Otherwise, we've got something very weird going on.
Right. So I mean, if we don't assume that those masked men were specifically looking for us individually, and that they're not part of whatever's going on with Ben and Clarissa, then yeah, that would be weird. But I'm assuming that that's the case. So we're gonna go to her house first.
Okay. Back at the station. Ben is crying. Ben is unhappy.
How odd.
Yeah, geez, I wonder why.
A ranking member of the guard is going to approach you and be like, we need to question him, and it's going to take a while. You probably want to busy yourself elsewhere.
He needs somebody. Look at him. He's scared and tiny. Look at how tiny he is.
He also appears to have brutally murdered his mother.
But he's still a child.
Yes, and he's still a potential murderer.
That B is going to interject, somewhat firmly, like not impolitely, but just say, just before. I don't know. We don't know if this is related or not, but just prior to this happening, we saw a suspicious figure around the crime area. We don't know for a fact, like I said, but it may be that there was something influencing him at the time. Just something that you may want to keep in mind. Is all.
Really?
And
Oh.
B nods.
What did they look like?
And she will, since she was one of the two people who saw the fellow, she'll describe, I guess, mostly the mask, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only thing that I can recall about the description was the mask. Like, what did the rest of the person look like?
They were apparently of average height and build, and they were wearing a big old, like, robe.
Yeah, so she's mostly describing it in case the mask itself is suspicious, like if they've ever seen someone with that before.
Sure.
She's perfectly aware that the actual description of the person is not very helpful here. And I think she will mention the umbilical cord just because it is very strange. May ring a bell somewhere.
The guard captain is going to give you a look of, really, what the fuck are you talking about when you mentioned the random umbilical cord?
She's going to shrug and say, whoever it was, it seems quite likely they left it behind because it was still, they were in an area that was not very easily accessible, and it was still, and she kind of like shudders a little bit, probably for spectacle, and says it was still warm. So not sure what that's about, but it's might as well mention it, I think, in case it's relevant.
Look, young lady, I'm not interested in people giving me shit today.
She's not giving you shit. Okay.
And
The thing that actually happened.
She holds up her hands in like in defense, and she says, "Just trying to give you all the information, officer."
I'm sure you are. Go on, off you get.
What would be the motivation to lie? Like,
that'd be a very strange thing to lie about. Well, I mean, it does sound very strange, so I can understand where the guy's coming from.
I mean, he's still an asshole, though.
He's doing his job.
He's still an asshole, though.
I think we need a Tulip lawyer session. Like, Tulip insert herself as a representative of the child in the interrogation.
Oh my god.
She's just sitting there menacingly.
Practice your table slams and your objection scream.
Objection!
Tulip, barbarian lawyer.
Alright.
Could do a TV show.
Yeah, B will look at Tulip, seeing what she thinks of what we are being asked to do.
Like, I just, like, I'm worried about that child, B. I mean, If we gotta do something else, that's fine, but I'm gonna be worried about it.
And she sighs and she says, "I know. I don't think we can." I mean, she's gonna lower her voice a lot, lean in, and say, "Unless we like bust him up," but I don't think that's the greatest idea.
No, your ideas have gotten me in so much trouble recently.
I'm just saying.
Your bad influence on me. You and Chris both.
Hey, what did Chris ever do that got you in trouble?
Sir. Sir,
Actually, no,
please.
genuinely, straight up, none of Chris's ideas have got you in trouble at all so far. He's got a rep for doing so, but actually, straight up hasn't. It's all been B.
B can't help it
Don't
if
you
she
go tie me with this brush.
Okay, but like in the past, it's like that shit's canonical.
Oh yeah, I totally believe that. But like, no. In this campaign, the person who's got you in trouble has been B, not me.
Yeah, okay,
help it
okay.
that she is solution oriented, and the solutions at the times when she can offer something is usually illegal or ill advised.
Oh my god.
That said, however, she is hero.
Yes,
He is
Yeah.
hero, yes.
that's true. Hero
We
can
know
be-
who the main character is.
Hero breaks into people's houses and smashes pots all the time.
Oh
So.
no.
Hero can be forgiven for things such as that.
Oh dear. You
You
know
get-
what, B? Just lead the way. I'm fucking done. Tulips, check it out.
You are getting the idea that the request to leave is very swiftly going to become an order.
yes. So, I guess they will leave for now. Then
Why do all guards have to be such little bitches? I don't
Because they deal
understand.
with delinquent teenagers all day.
They're still
It is
little
fair.
bitches.
They do that.
Okay, but they're still little bitches.
do.
Dude.
Yes.
We're
And the
on
entire
today,
group
boys.
erupts in raucous laughter.
Do.
now he's juvenile.
No.
Ooh.
You may be
I think you'll find I'm just a comedic fucking genius.
you may be 25, Chris, but your humor hasn't aged a day.
Alright, B,
Ah.
what are we doing?
B will be at a slight loss for a few seconds when
Don't.
That was philosophical right there. B will be.
I
Let it
fucking-
be, let it be.
No, you were warned. Maybe
Something
we
words
could-
of wisdom. Haha, B.
BRB.
Maybe we could try and find this lady's house,
Oh,
potentially.
dear.
You could, yeah.
Alright,
So-
what would we need to...
Depends how you want to find it.
I mean, I guess we could... I mean, we could ask around, but, like, that's not been going so well.
B's gonna say that Chris and Zigga are on their investigation, and they probably have that. They're pretty good at this kind of thing. They probably have that handled. What B will suggest is, I still think that that masked person was involved. Maybe we can, if we go back there, we can find some signs that of some sort of meddling or a way to track the person down.
Okay. Tulip will agree to that.
It's good. Out of character, I think it's probably pretty difficult to find a sign, but I think the other two have the other stuff handled. Pull up on that work.
And when we switch over, I'm gonna let Chris handle it initially because I need to go AFK for a bit.
Okay.
Right,
Solve the problem.
okay. Sure thing.
Let's
So
do
the
that.
house is the green X on the map, yes?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, there is a
Yeah,
building
okay.
currently covered by Zigga's face.
Mm,
Just
Sure.
A very
So
small-
this is the building the lady from the shop pointed us at as being hers?
Yes, this is
Yeah, or where they
Clarissa's-
lived, probably.
Yes, probably Clarissa's home.
Okay, so I mean, if I walk up, is there anyone there already, or are we the first people to sort of turn up?
Yes, there are a number of guardsmen.
There's a number of guardsmen already there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if I walk up to whoever looks like they're in charge? Question mark.
There's someone standing guard by the door.
Okay.
Go.
I'm not exactly sure what Zigga was expecting to find here specifically.
Mm.
Because like, what are we gonna do? Just like look around their house and see if they have spooky occult shit that indicates someone's gonna try and kill them.
I mean, that would be a good indicator.
I mean, that would be
were
pretty
there.
good if that were the case, right? But
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, the guard, like, if I walk up to the guard, it's like, does he respond to me in some way? What's going on? It's like, hello, hi.
Hey, what do you want?
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I'm just trying to figure out what happened with the lady. I spoke to your, I don't know, I guess supervisor when they turned up at the crime scene earlier.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he gave me permission to at least look into things. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, or trying to.
Yeah. Well, we haven't found anything yet.
No, I mean, do you know anything about the lady? Because I got into town, I don't know, like a day ago. We travel a lot. So do you know anything about them? Like her and her son?
Poor lady, menial job, just trying to make a living, really.
Yikes. I mean, that's fair enough. Is there really any reason for the boy to have done this? She wasn't abusive, was she?
No, God no, Clarissa.
No, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No.
Right? Like,
I mean, she wasn't always there, but you know, single lady, working. You know, it's how it is.
yeah, it's not always possible. Yeah, I get you. I mean, fair enough. So, I mean, can I go in or not? Questions. I just sort of looks at him questioningly.
If you find anything, we need to know about it. All right.
Oh, yeah. Like he sort of gives the sort of nonplussed look of, well, duh, because he's sort of like, he's not a policeman, right? He's just like, yeah, I agree. Yes, you do.
He's maybe not unfamiliar with the adventuring types coming in, meddling, fucking everything up, and then leaving.
That's why Chris is giving him the very wide-eyed, yeah, no shit. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, I agree. Yes, you do need to know.
Okay.
You're the
The reason
fucking police.
He seems put at ease a little by that, and
Yes, like I agree. Yes.
and steps aside so you can in fact go in.
Okay, sure. I mean, if he lets me in, then I will just sort of step through the door and take a look around.
Sure.
And I'm back at
What's
this
it
point.
like in there?
So there are about 2.5 rooms. One of the rooms is a bedroom. One of the rooms is like combination dining room or kitchen kind of affair.
Sure.
And then there's like half a bathroom.
Oof,
It's
okay.
all very very rustic, shall we say?
Compact.
Sorry,
Spartan?
Spartan.
Compact.
Yes, compact. Yes, miserable. Maybe.
Wow, that's a dark turn.
But they have, or Clarissa has apparently done what she can to brighten the place up. There's a lot of fairly raggedy but well like looked after like soft furnishings around.
Okay.
There's a little like knitting, like you know, like grandmas always have. There's a little
Mhm.
basket with knitting needles and some yarn and stuff.
Sure.
And in the bedroom you can see a lot of like homemade soft toys, like little dolls and animals and stuff.
Sure.
Does I guess we just have this house for reference, but do people cultivate the moss growing in their own homes to facilitate light?
You're not meant to, but poor people often do, yeah, because they can't afford the fuel to light otherwise.
Sure. I just wonder if it's utilitarian in the hallways and stuff like that, but it's almost like a cheap form of decoration in other like it could be cultivated in a unique way, like it looks decorative.
Yeah, you probably could do that, but they absolutely aren't.
Okay. That's fine.
And also, there aren't any hallways. This place isn't big enough for hallways.
No, I'm not talking about hallways in the building. I'm talking about hallways out in the exterior. Like
Oh, I
the-
see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they keep it maintained so it doesn't like overgrow or fall on people. But out in the hallways, it's a bit more ventilated, so you're not breathing in bits.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess we'll begin an investigation. Looking in unusual places. It seems very unlikely that there would be anything like trapdoors or anything like that leading to like a cellar or anything like that, because they wouldn't be able to afford a cellar, more than likely. Like to the work that it would take to craft a cellar.
Yeah, I mean, they are so poor that they can't afford a hole in the ground. That is pretty accurate.
Hmm.
Well, a hole in the ground through solid rock is a little bit more of an intense process. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just begin looking under furniture and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's cluttered and a bit dusty in places, but there's nothing particularly out of the ordinary that you immediately spot. Do you want to give me a perception and we'll see if there's anything fancy?
Sure.
Can I do the same?
You can.
Sure. Actually, can I also be looking for anything that might tie her to the weirdness that's going? So I'll do a regular perception check,
Mm-hmm.
but can I do my like schooled in secrets occultism, trying to find out if there's anything funky going on check?
Sure.
Sure, it's not a bad check.
Not bad. Okay. So yeah, you don't find anything particularly occult or spooky.
I don't find like the sign of a spooky group of people or anything like that going
No,
on.
you think you might have, but it's actually just a pattern she was making in a doily.
Sure.
It's always a bit tricky finding secrets like that because they're obviously intended to be hidden in plain sight and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you're fairly sure that this one is mundane. And indeed, there's nothing particularly unusual about the house apart from the paupacy in which they're living.
Okay. I mean, Chris will have looked about and then sort of turned back to Zigger and shrug and be like, "It looks pretty normal." I don't know if you found
Yeah.
anything.
I didn't, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, we could go check out the place of work and maybe we'll find something there. I mean, if it all was the murder weapon, maybe more likely that it was done at her place of business.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of which, I assume that there's guards inside the building too, not just on the outside.
Oh yeah, there's one
Um,
outside and like 3 turning the plays.
He'll turn to one of the guards and be like, what was I going to ask? I completely lost my train of thought. Did she own her own business, or was she working for someone?
Oh, she was working for Patrick, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll go see Patrick then.
I mean, as we walk out, Chris will sort of turn to the guys at the door and be like, "Yeah, thanks. I wish I could say I found something, but
Yeah,
it looks pretty normal to me."
about the same we're coming up with, to be honest.
It's the Chris sort of like shrugs and scratches his neck, and it's like, if you do find something, could you? He points at towards the hotel. I'm staying over there. Could someone let me know? I mean, I know you're busy, but if you have the time, could you let me know? This is fucking weird. And I kind of want to keep an eye on it.
I'll have to run it past the captain, but
I mean, if you can't, it's fine. But like, if you could, I mean, even if you even if it's just something happened, but I can't let you know what it is, that'd be great if you could do that.
Sure, I guess, yeah.
Thanks.
Why are you so invested in this? Did you know her?
Well, no, but I did kind of watch the lad kill his mother.
Oh, right.
It's just and he just sort of gives him a look of like, is that
Yeah.
not good enough?
No, yeah, I mean closure. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm sorry if I'm being a bother. I don't mean to be, but like, I'm also staying in the town, you know. And if it is some occult nonsense, it's good to know sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no shit.
So, he sort of shrugs and waves as he leaves. Like, good luck to you and yours, mate. And then just
Yeah,
sort
you
of wanders
too.
off.
He looks concerned at that last comment that it's something
Yeah.
occult going on in the town that he lives in.
Well, he said, you know, if it's occult, you know.
Well,
like,
yeah, but you put it in his mind now.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I Chris is pretty sure it's probably something occult.
Chris is trying to work on building up his esprit de corps.
Is what?
Disco Elysium reference.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
am I doing something weird?
Your,
Oh, sorry.
your relationship with the police.
Oh, sure.
It means something else, but that's what it was in Disco Elysium.
Esprit,
Yeah,
Sure.
esprit de corps is the morale within a group. The spirit of the corps.
Yeah, that's fair.
CRPS.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he's at least trying to be friendly with the people who are in charge, which is usually a good idea, unless they're the church, at which point fuck them. He is not a fan of the church.
They do such good work.
No,
They do such good work.
no, they do, but on the other hand, they are the people who. Like, literally, the last time he interacted with them, they were like, just get over it, I don't care that all your family died. Like, that was basically the message that got sent.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
he's
To be
not their
fair,
fan.
that was one person in church, even if they are higher up.
I don't care.
The lower people are probably fine.
Lies.
I mean, like Jasper and Ruby were fine.
Yeah, no. Like, generally speaking, yes. I am memeing, of course.
Yeah,
Of
no, I
course.
understand.
Always memeing. Never sincere, this David.
No, never sincere. Anyway, right. I guess we wander off towards the other business.
Yeah.
Okay, you know you're going to have a little bit of trouble getting to the other business because it is in fact only accessible through the Crystal Cavern.
What, through this?
Yes,
Oh, is it this?
it is that. Yes.
I mean, I guess we head over in that direction and try and shoulder our way in as best we can.
And in doing so, I believe you will meet up with the others.
Yep.
Because you are at the scene of the crime.
Always returning to the scene of the crime.
Yes.
I will bring back the party. So you meet up in the cavern or on the tunnel on the way to the Crystal Cave.
Yep.
And both verify that we have not discovered anything.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we ain't found shit.
Okay.
Have they moved her body yet?
Oh yeah. It's been moved, and there's some very unhappy looking people doing their best to clean up.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, after we verify that we both haven't discovered anything, Zega will say that we're on our way to her place of business. We just visited her home and didn't find anything there, so we thought we'd check her workshop.
Is there a clear path up or through?
There is an obvious route, but it is far from clear. There are throngs of people in the way.
I mean, I don't have any issue working my way through the crowd.
Okay, it's a little bit of work, but you managed to make your way over to here, and you find yourself here.
Oh, no washroom signs.
Before you is a small collection of stone buildings, and a bunch of very colourful and rather smelly vats, with a number of people dyeing cloths within those vats.
Do the people who are working at the vats look to be of a similar wealth range as Clarissa?
Yes, they don't look like they're starving and riddled with disease, but they sure as shit ain't well off. They are surviving.
Okay. Well, Zega will walk in and look around for a guy who might be organizing things. It looks like he might be a Patrick.
Yeah, there's a guy with the telltale facial structure and haircut of a Patrick.
Is he a
Uh,
starfish?
No, he isn't. And he's up here, let's say. Let's make a new townsfolk.
I mean, presumably he's dressed a little better.
A little bit, yeah. He's not blinged out. It doesn't look like he's here taking advantage of these people, but he is doing better than them. Could you all do me a perception check, please?
Yeah, sure.
Apparently not.
I'm really hoping that I can roll above a 5 at some point in the session.
Nope.
And apparently it's not now.
Good God, man.
You should
Jesus.
have lowered your expectations
My
on the
highest
three.
roll this entire session has been a 5.
Wow.
no.
Have you considered rolling dice better?
Get good, mate.
Sassy bitch.
Actually, I'm in the same boat. Only 2 rolls so far, but same boat.
Tulip and Chris, you think you see something moving on the roof of the main building. When you kind of double take to look again, you realize it was probably just one of the workers up there doing something with fabrics
On the roof.
on the roof.
Oh.
Yes, you can clearly see like 2 or 3 people up there.
Fair enough.
Like
There's not a lot of real estate.
fanning out the fabrics and seemingly laying them down on the roof, presumably to dry or cure or something.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess. Where was the man who was in charge? Sorry, which one was it?
Up here by the staircase.
This lad.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll give
Okay.
him
I
a-
mean, if we spot someone who looks like they're in charge, then Chris will just sort of start making a beeline for
Yep,
them.
he's now a ninja.
That's my line.
Beeline. Ah.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I stole your line, B.
No, you can use it. I allow you. There's no royalties or anything involved.
I don't know why you're using Japanese instant messages.
What?
Line is the premier Japanese instant messaging app.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are there also like a lot of the throngs of people from before? Were they like heading in a certain direction, like towards here, or like away from here, or
Just milling around.
Oh, it's
taking?
moving to and from the Crystal Cave and the various stalls in the tunnels around.
Okay, so there's like it's a whole district, not just this one place that goes from there.
Well, there's a few tunnels that go in and out of the main Crystal Cave. This
Okay.
one is in its own little alcove off of it.
Sure, I just meant like the people who were kind of in the way before were not specifically necessarily coming here.
No.
Got it. So
They were-
around here, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of like other non-working people.
No, it seems mostly like people working this this tannery dye shop thing.
Okay.
Okay, so walking up to Patrick, Zega will introduce himself and Chris and say that we're working with the guard, and we were hoping to see where Clarissa worked.
Patrick has a very tight jaw and some reddened eyes, and is quite curt in responding that yes, she did work here.
No, but specifically, like, where did she work? Like, did she have a station? I assume that with her having an all and everything like that, that she probably worked in a single location, more than likely.
She worked inside putting our patterns together.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, could we possibly look where she worked?
If you need to, I guess. And he'll show you inside to where there's probably another half dozen people.
seated.
Sorry?
Yeah. I'm assuming like people seated in a kind of a. I don't want to say cubicles because that's too modern, but like
Yeah, they're at specific stations with their tools, and they're all putting together pretty simple looking but fairly vibrant clothing and upholstery and stuff like that.
And did she often have Ben with her while she was working?
Fairly often, yeah. I mean, where was he gonna go?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he'll take a look down and start looking over her workspace to see if there's anything of note.
Do you have anything relevant to tailoring?
No.
Perception, then, I think.
Can I, if I cast detect magic, do I get anything?
Where are you casting it from? Inside
Wherever her
by
wherever her
workstation?
workstation is.
I
So if
rolled
I
high
will
to
walk,
5, y'all.
if there's a workstation where we've been pointed to, he will walk to the middle of it and cast detect magic.
Sure. So you're like in here somewhere at this point.
In where? Sorry, where?
In the building.
Oh, it's actually in here.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So he'll wander in there and just cast detect. Try not to get in anyone's way,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and just cast detect magic and see what he gets.
Sure. Ziga, as far as you know, everything here is present and correct, including a similar looking awl.
Oh.
Okay. Is there like an obvious place where one of her tools is missing?
Not that
Like,
you
is it-
can tell.
Are they just sitting loosely on the table, or are they in like a cloth tool
They're
rack or something like that?
yeah, they're in a little pocketed bit of cloth that would make them easy to bundle up and carry around. But everything seems to be present and correct.
So there's not one missing.
No, all of the pockets are filled.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay. So then he'll start walking around the room, to the rest of the other work areas.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all currently being utilized? Like, is everybody at their station currently?
Yes.
Are there any tool racks that are being? What I'm trying to say, are there any workstations where there is a tool missing that is not currently being used by somebody that's working at the station?
Do me another perception. Chris, in answer to the detect magic, you are picking something up. It's very faint and it's coming from outside the building.
Outside, which direction?
To the south.
Down here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he'll start wandering in that direction and just look for anything that seems arcane, I suppose, or occult.
Sure. Nothing particularly springs out as, like, super magical. But as you move south, if you're still detecting magic, then you'll pick up more around the area.
Okay. So over here,
Yep.
over here.
Not inside that south building.
Okay. So this sort of like setup out here, basically.
Yes.
Chris will wander back over to the manager and be like, do you use enchanted equipment?
What, do we look like we can afford enchanted equipment? No.
You don't.
No.
Okay. Have you had anyone occult or arcane turn up recently?
No, not
that
that I
you
know
know
of.
of. Right. Okay. When was the last time Clarissa was at work?
Yesterday?
Yesterday. OC. How, like, judging by how weak the signal is, is this like does it feel like the magic was from a long time ago, or does it just feel like it was weak magic relatively recently? Do I have any idea? Do I get that sort of?
You can't really tell that. It could be either of them. They're both good ideas.
Okay, so he'll sort of look at the guy and be like, like not to alarm, but someone has definitely done something, either occult, arcane, I don't know. There's been magic either cast here or some sort of magical instrument used here pretty recently, and it'll point towards the courtyard.
Or how do you figure?
He'll sort of think for a moment on how to explain this before he goes, I have the means to detect magic in the area. And he points at like the literal witch hat he wears and the arcane tattoos all over himself.
He's looking at you like he's trying. Part of him is trying to figure out your angle, but another part of him is too upset and distracted to even care.
I mean, he's not like if he's looking at me kind of suspiciously, then Chris will sort of like shrug and shake his head and be like, "Mate, I don't have an axe to grind. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Like I watched the boy kill his mum. Like it's not great. I'm just trying to find out why. I don't believe he did it on purpose. Like I find that hard to believe. He's like catatonic at the moment. He won't talk. So I'm just trying to get something, you know, like so. And this is all I've got. Where she worked, I assume someone, I don't know, maybe marked her with something, cursed the boy if he was in the area. You know, did he like play out here? And he points out of the courtyard. Did he sort of wander about while she was working?
God no, we can't have kids around this stuff.
Then do you know where he hung about, or just did he just sit with her?
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to read books and talking to people a lot.
Sure. I mean, this is the only real lead I've found so far. Like, there's nothing at her house. So I'm just trying to find something out. Please don't think I'm angling for anything, because I'm not.
While they're talking, B is going to have been have wandered over, seeing Chris come back out of the building without Zigga, and she's going to ask him if there is a reason he came back out here. If he
Yeah, I mean, Chris will sort of turn to him and be like, "Yeah, I pinged something magic in the area. Obviously, you know, I don't know exactly what it is, but he points at the general courtyard and it's like, someone cast something here or had something magical here. I don't know if it's recent. Like, either, I think, it's like recent but weak or not so recent and stronger. That would be my guess. But, like, the spell's not that exact.
She's gonna ask him a couple questions, but I think I'm like out of character. I'm gonna aim this at you, Fish, because it's probably more for you. She's gonna ask him if it was like kind of just spread out in the area, or if it was more like focused in the vats or something like that.
Do I get it that exact?
No.
No. Okay.
No. So he'll sort of say, I don't know, like, it's stronger, and he'll point again at the area and be like, it's stronger out here. I got it really weakly in there, and points in the building where Clarissa worked, but not so much.
And she nods, and she said she's gonna try using read aura on first some of the vats individually, and then on the I guess the liquid inside the vats if it's visible from out here. I don't know if those are lids or if that's just the color of the liquid.
It's the color of the liquid. It's very visible.
Okay.
So the vats themselves are perfectly mundane as far as you can tell. The liquid inside is like the faintest enchantment.
I see. Okay. And she's gonna furrow her brow a little bit, and she says to Chris, "I have a bit of a hunch. I'll be right back. You guys keep looking. See if you can do what you're doing."
Chris sort of nods and lets her wander off.
Zigga, your investigation of the other tool stations and such.
Yeah.
You did a perception for that. All of the other kits seem to be intact. There is a tooling like area in the back corner where there are a few spares for pretty much everything, and a few that have been broken and awaiting repair.
Okay. So there's a place where there was like a general purpose tool station,
Yes.
and I presume there's several missing there.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look like it's designed to have a specific number.
Right, right. Well, that's what I mean. Is like there's probably several missing there because it's not like it's it's meant for general purpose. Like some could be broken, some could be pulled away and taken home or whatever.
Yeah.
So like there's Okay. Okay.
What's Tulip up to?
I mean, Tulip's probably just kind of like observing, just kind of like wandering around and observing and trying not to be too intimidating.
Okay. Could you do me an intimidation?
I got the pause too.
Okay, that's cool, and also a perception.
No.
Okay. Something catches Tulip's eye again on the roof.
On this roof?
No, on the other roof with the people working on top of it.
Oh.
And it's like it's definitely just the people up there. Definitely.
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 Hmm.
We say definitely that many times. It seems a little less definite, if you know what I mean.
The workers are so around the others. They're kind of just not quite barging past, but making sure they can get to where they need to. Around you, they're kind of working around you.
Hmm.
They don't want to get in your way.
And once again, she's just standing there,
Mhm.
menacingly.
How very considerate of them.
Oh, that is very considerate of them. Is there a way to like get up there?
Not that you can see.
And everything up there looks perfectly copacetic, right, Tom?
I'm gonna go with yes because I don't know what that means.
What, copacetic? It just means good.
They must have climbed up the walls.
Or they just
Expired.
put the ladder away.
Can I try and like... Oh, it's gonna be so stupid, but I'm playing a himbo, so it's like...
Are you gonna try and climb up the wall?
Like, no, but also yes. Yes, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Can I have an athletics, please? You get probably about 4 or 5 feet off the ground. You're almost to the top, but then you just kind of like slide down. And like half of the people have stopped working
To watch.
be like, does she know we have a ladder?
Imagine being the antagonist, like that's up on the roof watching the group and watching Tulip just like straddle this like she's trying to like
She's trying to like monkey climb up the corner of the building.
and he's looking at us as though we're a threat, and then he sees Tulip and he's like, okay, never mind, these people are not worth worrying about.
I'm just gonna say that B probably doesn't intend to be a bad influence, but I definitely am.
Oh no.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
And once again, Tulip continues to be fucking bullied. Oh dear. I guess Tulip just stands there looking like an idiot then.
Is there a visible ladder?
Hold on, I'm gonna just do something quickly.
No.
Okay, so Patrick spots this and kind of looks at you a bit incredulously, and then comes over and says, "Do you want to get on the roof?"
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Mary, grab the ladder. And then one of the ladies will go over here and pull a ladder out from underneath something or other, and then come and prop it up against the wall.
Thank you both very much. I'm just gonna go up here now.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of workers laying out fabrics. This one here is like stacking them up into piles, the ones that have already dried, folding them nicely.
Oh, can Tulip help with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And nothing up here looks any kind of weird. There's no spare umbilical cords just hanging out.
Do me another perception now that you're up here.
No, but I've already been rendered so stupid.
But you've got eyes.
No, apparently I fucking don't.
No, you thought there was like a big, like 12-foot long umbilical cord, but it was just a bit of rope.
Quite the umbilical cord.
Yeah, like you're a bit spooked and a bit jumpy at the moment, so it's not like unreasonable to have mistaken it.
I see. Does this new view give me like any advantage over like looking out over the field and maybe spotting something?
Apparently not.
It lets you look down on people.
I'm going back on mute.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't think that you're getting picked on necessarily, Amber. Like, we've all been rolling shit today, so like, our investigation is like just a series of errors. It's just that your errors have been so much more funny to like commonize because they're physical rather than just like you're too stupid to see anything, which is where Zig has been all day.
Oh, I'm not being
Whereas,
a drama
like-
queen, I promise. I'm just trying to drink this Diet Coke without dying fucking laughing on the mic.
Tulip is slapstick and Zig is just an idiot.
Yeah, it's just straight up vaudeville. Oh no.
Okay.
It's the B.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. What else did we have dangling? I lost a couple of threads there, I think.
well, eventually, when Zig is obviously not able to come to any conclusions, he'll want to go up on the roof as well.
Okay. What was B doing? I forget.
B went off to investigate a hunch, and by that I mean she's going to return back to the crystal tunnel,
Oh yeah.
and she's going to read aura on some of the actual crystals, because she didn't ask, but she suspects that are they multicolored?
They are.
Yes, she suspects that that's being used in the dyes.
You do not get a read off the crystals.
Okay, was just a quick hunch. In that case, she will look a little perplexed and then come back. And she'll eventually ask the guy what they use in their dyes, but we'll let that be later.
Well, crystals.
He says crystals,
Yeah.
and she says, where do you get your crystals?
Fr-
If it's not a trade secret.
From the cave.
Like, does someone mine them for you, and you buy them off them, or do you have?
Oh, we collect the bits that flake off, crush them down real good.
Do you have, like, is there a? I guess do you have some powder that I could maybe look at? That you were like preparing for it?
Yeah, as long as you don't take any.
And she shakes her head. Wouldn't dream of it.
And he'll lead you over to this building,
Okay, the bottom one.
the bottom one, and he'll open the door. And inside there's another couple of people sitting at like basically big mortar and pestles,
Right.
and they're putting like little flakes almost of the crystal into them and grinding them up, and then tipping it out into like big pots.
Right.
And he marches over to one of them and says, whoa, 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 you've got far too much in there. Take half of that out. You're going to cause problems.
Who is the person that he went to go talk to just now for that? What do they look like? If it seems, because that seems a little unusual to her, that they're doing something like that wrong.
Sure. Yeah, it's a young man, early 20s, late teens, maybe. Scrawny looking motherfucker.
Mhm.
He seems less practiced than the other one.
Okay. Sure.
He's a bit clumsier with the pestle, I think, is the bit that you actually hit things with.
Right. Yep.
But as you say, it's not a particularly difficult job.
Right. Okay. Well, she'll keep a mental note for now. It doesn't. I mean, it is a long shot, but it's just another potential clue to keep track of. And out of character, I think there's going to be no magic here because they didn't detect any magic earlier. But she's going to cast Read Aura on some of the crystal flakes.
The flakes have nothing.
Got it. And the powder.
The powder is very, very slight.
Okay, still slight enchantment.
Yes, a little bit denser than the dye outside.
Right. Okay. So let's see. And based on her knowledge of spell casting, it doesn't seem like either of them are casting any magic as they're doing this, right? They're just mushing it up.
That would be a reasonable assumption.
Okay.
If you want to really think about it, give me a relevant roll.
Will do. Enchantment. Well, I don't have occultism, so Arcana is probably the closest one.
I mean, they might be. They might be really accomplished magicians.
That's true. They could be. They could be. That's why this guy's not experienced, because he spent most of his life being a magician.
Most of his 21-year-old life.
Yes, he's a prodigy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's possible.
Possible. But you will admit that it is within the realm of possibility. Okay. So she's gonna just observe for a little while longer, if allowed to. I'm just gonna kind of repeatedly cast Read Magic just on the different phases of the process, even if it's a very short one.
Sure.
Just in the process of pounding it, of mushing it up, just seeing if it's a fresh batch, how magical that seems, or where it seems to become slightly magical.
It seems to be the crushing process itself.
That would make sense. Yes.
Is making it ever so slightly magical.
Got it. Okay.
Far even from usefully magical, just a little tingling of static charge, basically.
Got it. Okay, no, that's fine. That's all I wanted to know for now.
Cool.
I suppose.
Well, other than going on the rooftop, which I don't even have a reason necessarily to go on the rooftop, Ziga doesn't have any more ideas. I don't know of anything else we can do from here that we haven't already done.
I guess
pretty much everything that I've done today has not been out of some sort of determined okay, this is going to lead to a result. It's been I'm just going to poke and prod at this puzzle until something happens, and nothing's happened.
Well, I mean, the end solution may not be here. This is just to give a bit more background, maybe, potentially.
Are you going to go up on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a perception. And roll higher than a 1 this time, please.
It's definitely the
do
bucket.
my best.
The bucket is suspicious.
That's higher than a 1!
It is.
Holy shit!
Even double digit.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
It is. You spot something way off to the south that doesn't look like a rock, which is what you would expect over there.
What?
Down there?
Yeah.
On ground level or on the same level as me?
On ground level.
Okay, is it stationary?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then I guess Ziga's going to point it out to Tulip, because Tulip's up there with him, and ask her to come help me go check it out. There's something over there.
Okay, lead the way.
And the two of us will head over there and take a look at it.
Okay. It's a little doll.
Oh, fucking great. Horror movie cliches, let's go.
It's a little simple homemade cloth doll.
Cloth ones are cuter.
Yeah. No, it's not made of porcelain or anything. Don't worry.
Can we get Chris, like, and or B over here to detect magic on this thing? Because this is a fucking trap, if
Well,
ever there
Zig-
was one.
Ziga is actually capable of casting detect magic, and he will
Oh,
do so.
go for it.
This thing ain't magic. This is a doll.
Okay.
Tech crafting on it instead.
Detect crafting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a tremendous amount of occult knowledge, but voodoo dolls and stuff like that, are they typically well, I guess voodoo dolls you literally have the doll with you. You don't
Probably.
put it somewhere else. Okay, I'll just pick it up. And yeah, I'll just pick it up. Is it by itself? There's nothing else over here in this alcove? What is
No.
this alcove used for?
Nothing at the moment.
Okay.
Um,
Possibly like a future expansion.
Possibly future
area.
expansion, possibly stock storage for a less busy time of the year, or somewhere to put crystals or extra dye or something. They're not using it at the moment, either way.
Cult meetings.
Cult meetings, yeah. By the way, do me a... No, don't do me a... Don't do me.
Don't do me a.
Don't do
Just
me
do
a...
me.
Don't be a
do me.
doomer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Zega's picked it up. And I'm gonna bring it over to Chris.
Chris will have just been wandering about waiting for B to sort everything out, so he'll sort of look at you and be like, "What now?"
What?
He's
Well,
just
so
like, "What happened? What have you found?"
I found the doll on the ground. I don't know
doll?
if there's any significance to it, or if it just belongs to maybe one of the workers' kids. But it was over on the alcove by itself, conspicuously alone from everything else. So I was just. It doesn't appear to be
Sure.
magical, so I don't know what to make of that.
Can I have a look? He'll sort of hold out his hand for it.
Yeah, I'll hand it to him.
What does this doll look like? Is it like?
Under what kind of lens?
I suppose arcane, occult, weird shenanigan, crafting. Even I have crafting. I can do all of the things.
Do me
with
some
this doll.
rolls.
All right, there's a crafting. There's an arcana. There's an occultism.
Holy shit, that arcana.
Yep.
It is a well-made doll,
Okay.
but it's well made out of kind of shit stuff.
Sure. So
Uh,
good craftsman, bad materials.
yes.
Gotcha.
It doesn't trigger anything arcana magic-wise. It is kind of like in the same family of dolls as things that could be used for occult rituals.
Okay.
You could put a soul in it maybe and create a poppet or something. But this one is just a fabric doll with some like spare fucking stuff in it to give it some body.
I mean, if I like turn it over and have a look at it, can I see like a name stitched on it or anything?
No, there is not a name stitched on it.
Okay. Chris will sort of he'll stand there looking at it for a while before he goes, you could use this for some pretty weird stuff, but it hasn't been. It's just sort of what it's what it looks like. It's dull. I mean, it'll hum and haw over it and be like, and then wander over to Patrick if you can find him.
Yeah.
Who it's apparently his name now. And sort of
And it
say,
literally is his name.
oh, it's literally his name. We've
Yes.
called him
Been his
Patrick.
name-
Sure.
It's been his name all his life, actually.
Okay, sure.
Oh,
I mean, he'll wander up to the guy and be like, "Do you recognize this?" Long shot.
He'll look at it and his lower lip will quiver a bit and he'll turn away.
Right. Does that mean it was Ben's?
He nods.
Right.
And he's
Okay.
got like
cool.
his fist up to his mouth.
Okay. He'll point towards the alcovey bit where they went and be like, "Is there any reason why Ben would have been over there?" And he points all the way up the other end.
He played out there sometimes when he got bored.
Right. Huh. Okay. Thank you. And I mean, he'll let the guy deal with his grief or whatever, and sort of wander back over to Zigger and be like, "Was there anything out there apart from this?"
No, but I didn't look at it very thoroughly, and I'm starting to think that maybe we should. Maybe it's not the doll we should be looking for; it's the area. Maybe we can
Yeah,
find some
I
more,
mean,
more stuff
so
over there.
yeah, the real question mark for me about all this is if there is something occult going on, when did it happen? Because either they've like cursed the mum in some way to make him attacker, or they've cursed him to make him attacker. Does that make sense? Like it's one of the two.
Yeah, right. No, and I've been operating on the assumption that we could find something out of investigating the mom, but it's possible we could try to look into this alcove and maybe there's something there.
Yeah, he'll click his fingers and be like, "Oh yeah, hang on a minute," and he'll wander back over and be like, "Look, I'm sorry, I keep bothering you, mate. Did Ben have any friends he played with here, or that you know of? Did he have any like long-term friends he'd had, or
Maybe-
new ones actually? come to
Maybe
think
some
of it?
others. Maybe are the other Taylor women's kids.
I mean, yeah, sometimes they play out there. There's
Did he have anyone he played with a lot?
The other one.
not really. Like, it was just whoever was here. You know how kids are.
Mm.
Especially at that
Is
age.
there a new kid around recently that he was playing with, or a new person?
No.
Okay, cheers. And then he'll sort of wander. He'll thank the man and just sort of wander off towards this alcove to have a look around.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
The doll itself, does it resemble anything or anyone? Like, what kind of doll is it?
It's a really simple fabric doll. The kind you make with a bit of, spare rags and some twine to tie it up to
Okay, so not really
vaguely look like a person.
sure, not detailed enough to
Not
be designed for anyone
not
particular.
really, not with any accuracy.
Okay, fair enough. B will fall after Chris, because that seems like a good idea.
Sure. I mean, I will wander around the whole area casting detect magic and see if I get any ping anywhere.
No, it's like slightly above background from where dust from the crystals is kind of blown around the cave.
That's fine. Yeah, he's trying to find out if this is like ground zero, quote unquote, of
Yeah.
his assumed cursed
Zigga
thing
on-
happened.
Zigga also has detect magic, and he'll use it, but his main focus is on mundane things. So I'm gonna look for like secret nooks, like where the wall's been deceptively molded so that it looks like it ends, but actually there's like an alcove or something like that,
Sure.
or anything like that.
Perception, please.
I am on a roll.
Yeah. A roll of 15.
20.
20 after modifier, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cave wall. There are quite a few nooks and crannies, but none of them that really seem to lead to a passageway.
Okay. So
Like,
we
you
go
could-
down the whole wall and don't see anything.
No, you could conceivably hide like small items in there and expect it not to be found for a while, but there's no like passageways or like deep alcoves or chambers or anything.
Well, not even necessarily like an exit or anything like that, but something like akin to something that would like hold a human-sized person who might cast a spell from it or something like that on Ben as he's playing in this alcove or whatever.
I mean, someone who's very good at hiding conceivably probably could, yeah.
If Zigga has Zigga voiced any of these suspicions while he's searching, B will probably ask.
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I mean, he'll if anybody asks him, he'll say, "Yeah, this is what I'm looking for."
Sure. B will just comment that it's probably since it seems like customers come here directly. More likely that I feel like that someone just uh would be able to just come down here and spot the boy playing alone if they wanted to. I don't think there's much of a need for them to actually hide here.
Well, I mean, if we're walking and going under the assumption that's the guy in the iron mask, the guy that was looking at us, or the person that was looking at us, and the crystals above, and then I went to investigate it. I mean, I physically went up there to determine where they came from, and could not find them. You know, like they didn't go anywhere, but they just disappeared. And then there was that umbilical cord that we found. Like, I'm looking for another instance of that.
Sure.
I'm assuming that those are related. So I'm assuming some sort of unusual teleportation magic, perhaps. And so I was looking for alcoves where somebody could hide.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is Tulip helping the search?
Yes, Tulip's kind of just meandering around at this point. Actually, no, Tulip's gonna go back to the Lando Spooks here.
Is that cousin of Lando Calrissian?
Yes.
What's Tulip looking for?
Like, she's just kind of peering into the abyss at this point.
That's a wall.
Trying to see if there's... Oh. She's still peering into the abyss at this point.
Okay, that's fine. I just thought I'd let you know that that is solid rock and not a hole into nothing.
Is there any, like, weird carvings around?
Yeah, there's some scratchings in the cave wall that look like they might be like children's drawings.
Hmm. Okay. Did anybody notice how upset, like especially upset Patrick was over the doll? Like everybody's been upset thus far, but he seemed like he was about to have a fucking mental breakdown.
Maybe he just cares a lot about his employees, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was a little bit
I-
over the top.
yeah.
Maybe he was close with them.
Yeah, my
Mm,
assumption just was that he was close with her in some way.
I'm not sure about her necessarily, because when we were asking about the workshop and everything like that, he was almost indifferent. Like he was barely willing to take me over there to look at it. But then he did seem to have a dramatic reaction to the doll specifically. So maybe he was closer to the kid than her.
Think he's his illegitimate son.
That's a interesting way to like interpret that. I mean, maybe he was just close to the kid. Like maybe they had a good relationship.
I mean, you
You
never know.
know. I don't know what to interpret that as.
Let's.
But it doesn't look like we're gonna find anything here. I mean, I've looked it over pretty thoroughly. I mean, we could. I mean, it is unusual that he would just discard his doll right here in the middle of the floor, like it was dropped and forgotten about. Which I don't know what would cause him to do that. I mean, because it is a well-made doll, it doesn't seem like it was something he would just like discard. So yeah. Also, I'm kind of curious what something an avenue that we haven't looked at yet is, was she off today? Was she just not working? Because there's a whole bunch of people here working. Why were they at the festival? The two of them together, just attending the festival. What brought them to that specific place at that specific time?
Right. Well, I mean that's something worth asking. We can ask Patrick about that.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, I don't. I don't really have any concrete ideas about what's actually happened. So
we're still
your
clue
guess is good
gathering.
of mine.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm just grasping at straws over and over again.
If B is standing here, is like she's just gonna kind of walk around to see like what the field of vision is kind of like. If she's standing like over here, is she can she see the workers here?
Yes, you can see the
Okay.
workers at those and the ones above and some of the ones on the roof.
Sure. The doll, she's gonna ask Chris where actually it was Ziga who found it, right?
Hmm.
Where was the doll specifically?
It was
when-
on the ground, like right around here.
Yeah,
like here?
that'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Was it? Did it look like it was dropped unceremoniously on the ground, or was it look like it was propped up and in a specific angle?
If you had to guess, dropped.
Okay, but it wasn't like sitting up and looking out in this direction,
No.
like intentionally or anything like that. Okay.
The
Okay.
kind of doll, the kind of doll I'm picturing probably doesn't sit up anyway. It's like but I could be wrong about that.
You would have to prop it up against something if you wanted it to sit. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Could you
Okay.
all do me a perception check, please?
Sure. We have grown eyes.
Oh my god.
What a wonderful day to have eyes.
You actually haven't grown eyes. You've grown
Grown
ears.
Oh.
And you hear something that almost kind of sounds like indistinct whispering.
Oh, good.
Why? Okay.
And if anything, it seems to be kind of coming from the doll.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Well, at least we're getting plot advancement. Okay, so what does it say?
Oh, you can't make out what it's saying.
You gotta hold it up to your ear and let it whisper its secrets to you.
That's how it gets you.
Yeah,
That's how it gets ya.
bites your ear off.
It wiggles into your brain.
Yeah, it's like an earwig.
Oh man, that would be such a nasty
Trap.
I don't know, a nasty trap or something like that is like a cloth doll that makes whispering noises, and then you hold it up to your ear, and there's like some sort of insect or maggot or something like that inside the doll that uses the fact that you put it up to your ear as a way to crawl into your head.
So
I like it.
is anyone going to put this thing up to their ear?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'm the idiot.
Whoa. Before you do that, Chris is gonna like. Do I have any idea what the fuck would this thing might do?
I mean, it might have something in it that jumps into your ear and crawls into your brain.
Right.
It might have some kind of spooky ghost in it that's gonna ghost jizz in you.
In your ear.
In your ear.
I would love to that if we end up with some sort of situation where one of our party members gets taken over in the same way that Ben was, that it not be Tulip. Because
You could do a lot of damage with an awl.
Yes,
Or-
well, Tulip's all of choice is considerably bigger and more cleave-in twainy.
so if
Cleave in
Chris,
Twainy.
so if Chris or B wanted to be the one to listen to this thing,
Yeah. B says,
Sure.
I have healing magic, so she looks at Chris.
Good luck, asshole.
Chris looks very unimpressed with everyone and holds out his hand for the stupid thing.
Chris, could you do a perception check for me, please, before you take it?
And then a will save.
Tabbit isn't here.
Oh.
Tabit has crawled inside the doll and is fucking with us.
It's like holds out his hand for the doll and looks around and is like, wait,
Can you
Have
tell
it?
her? And B will say, Huh,
Tab
"That's
it.
right. We haven't seen her for a while. Can you tell where she is?"
I don't know if you actually get the specific ability to do so.
I believe you need to pick that as a familiar ability.
I will take a look.
In a book.
Da-da-da-da-da.
It's reading Rainbow.
Oh fuck! I have to log in. Log in.
This is the issue with having a familiar with their own agenda. B complains.
Oh.
Are we going to have the 5th level plot of lobotomizing Tabit? So that she
I
no
don't know
longer
if there's
has her own
actually a
agenda?
way to know where it is. I don't think so.
PF2 familiar.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than share senses, but that's not that either. Really.
I mean, there's recall familiar, which will very quickly let you know where they are because it'll be next to you.
That's true. Yeah, I don't.
He'll frown and be just sort of shake
She's
his head and
probably
be like, I guess she's just wandering about. How often have I actually had to have it like straight up disappear though?
Not often.
Ah.
Not for long, and certainly not on a mission. Like, if you're just, like, laying around fucking reading a book, she'll wander off to chase mice or something, but...
Yeah. Whatever.
That is unusual then.
Yeah, I mean he'll frown. Well, Okay. I mean either way, right? That he'll be unsure, a little more unsure of himself, and just still hold out his hand for the stupid doll. Be like, yeah, all right. Let's sort this out at any rate.
Okay. Give it back to him.
Okay, does that hit your AC?
Nah, yes.
As Zig is handing the doll over, it kind of flies out of his hand and knocks your hat off.
Oh.
Just clean off your head. Doesn't even touch your hair.
That's rude.
Chris like bends down, picks up his hat, and puts it back on.
Where does the doll fly out? Like, does it just hit the doll and fly off somewhere, or just just bounce off and fall to the ground?
Yeah, it just bounces off and lands on the ground, like, I don't know, 10, 20 feet back.
And Bee will give it a very odd look, and she will dryly comment, "That's not something a doll should be doing."
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, no.
I like how nobody assumed that Zigga threw it. I appreciate that. Everybody just suddenly got angry at Zigga for fucking around.
To be fair, I don't think Zig has shown any propensity to actually do something like that.
That's true.
And also not of the level to have that attack bonus to their attack rolls.
Yeah, that's a little meta, however. Anyway, Chris will like pick up his hat and put it back on, and then just sort of wander over to the doll and try and pick it up again. Okay.
It paffs you in the face.
Can I catch it when it does so?
Reflex save.
Okay.
Does it hurt?
No damage.
Yeah.
You fumble it a lot. You're like juggling it in the air, not quite getting a handle on it, but you do eventually grab it.
So he'll hold on pretty tight to this doll and cast Detect Magic again.
Nope.
And then sort of look at it and look at everyone else and be like, is this thing alive?
The little Stitch smiley face is mocking you.
Is it still making the whispering noise?
No.
Is it acting like an animated creature, or is it acting like a doll, like a fully normal doll that's being telekinesis around?
Perception check.
Because I feel like those would be different.
Although you said it was smiling at, it was like smiling mockingly, right?
Well, mostly because it has a face stitched onto it, and it just hit Chris round the face twice.
Okay. The face is not changing.
It's more it's more of a Chris thing than a doll thing.
Our Chris's interpretation of
Yes.
the smile.
Ziggo, it is being yeeted around for sure.
Okay, so something is controlling it and moving it around, which is why it's
But
not
there's
dealing any
no
damage. It
magic.
is not a creature. It's not. It's how far can telekinesis typically be used? Zigga will just say out loud, not loudly.
Well, it depends. Is telekinesis an actual thing, or is it just like mage hand, essentially?
Telekinesis does not appear to be a spell. Telekinetic
Right.
maneuver is a thing,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
would
think
be
that's more of a-
appropriate.
The only thing that we can see that's not that's relevant to this area that we're aware of, so it could be secret alcoves and stuff like that, but like that we're aware of is the workshop, right? There's nothing, like we're not tied to the rest of the street. We're completely out of line of sight from the street. It's just the workshop, correct?
From where you currently are, you are out of line of sight of the street, yes.
Okay. Yeah, Zigga's just like scanning the audience of the workers working in the workshop and up on the roof and everything like that for anything unusual.
Um,
No, you go.
B is going to say it seems she's going to furrow her brow and she's going to say it seems unlikely that someone cast spell to just mess with us. It didn't actually, accomplish anything. Can I make some sort of roll to know whether like incorporeal beings like ghosts or something like that are I think I know the answer. Like they're not magical and wouldn't come up in detect magic. But she does think there is something more mischievous at work.
Go for it. Roll Arcana, religion, maybe? Occultism?
Can't actually roll occult, but
Occultism, religion, or irrelevant law, or something like that. Religion, okay. They are... Oh god, are they inherently magical? This is a good question.
her assumption is they're not because it didn't come up. Tech magic. I don't know that she knows exactly what it is, but
I am going to say that B currently believes that they would show up under detect magic.
interesting. Okay. So like incorporeal beings, ghosts, spirits, that kind of thing.
Yes, they do appear to have magical abilities, which to me would make them magical beings.
I see. Okay.
So I'm going to say that yes for now, unless something else important contradicts that.
Okay. She is going to. I mean, she's not expecting this to work, but she's gonna start like waving her arms around. You know how like magicians will like wave their arms above and below objects to make sure to show that there's no strings there or anything holding pulling them around.
Yep.
She's just gonna like start like circling around Chris and just like doing that in different directions.
Just in the air. Just trying
Just
to
in the
like
air.
catch a stray string.
Yeah, it's almost like she's just like she's miming and like circling around him threateningly.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Probably looks very weird from an outsider point of view.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being a worker that just like catches, the movement catches your eye, and you look down and you see this adventuring party, and you don't like know what the fuck they're doing.
Speaking of that, none of them are watching you.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go out towards the workshop area,
Yeah.
like maybe like the exterior of the workshop area, and then I'm gonna look while B's still doing that, and look at the group.
Yeah, they're there.
And do I see everybody acting in the way that they're currently acting?
For better or worse, yes.
The sight is forever burned into your brain.
That's a screw.
So from his current point of view, B is still circling Chris. like a
Yes.
shark. Okay.
Okay.
B, I feel like B has a lot of soccer from Avatar energy right now.
Maybe a little bit. Sometimes it's the mundane solutions that have got to be
Yeah,
tried. You know?
sometimes you just need to throw a boomerang at something.
Yeah. I don't have a boomerang. I should get one.
Okay. I'm very confused. We keep having things happen that feel like they're going to advance the plot, but then they don't. They just confuse us more.
B is going to ask Chris, do you mind if I take a look at that? After she unsuccessfully tries to find some sort of,
You mean the doll?
yes. When she looks at a
Sure.
what
He'll like, still holding it very tightly, hold it out to you,
and B will attempt to take it.
and he'll like push it into your hand and then let go.
In the moment of transfer,
Uh-huh.
it makes a clown honk noise. Huh?
A what noise?
The
No,
fuck?
it
Oh.
doesn't. It absolutely does not.
It does.
No, it does.
B will freeze at the sound, and then she's now gripping it if it doesn't try to fly away immediately.
No.
And she'll kind of give it an experimental squeeze.
Huh?
And she'll try again.
Huh?
And again.
That keep
Does-
making
does
me
it-
make that noise.
I was just gonna see how many times you do it before you.
3 is the limit.
Does it feel like there's something? You know how like there are toys that actually do
With
that.
a
It feels
squeaker
like
in it,
something-
yeah. Yeah, no.
Does it feel like there's anything physical? No.
No.
There's no magic. It's making honking noises. Does the honking very clearly seem to be coming from the doll specifically?
As far as you can tell, yeah.
She's gonna raise it up to her ear and try squeezing again.
Nothing.
She's gonna put
I
it
wonder
down
if-
where she was holding before and squeeze it.
Nothing.
Short of ripping it apart, is there a way? Like, is the stitching in such a way that we could possibly pull it open, without destroying it?
Oh, it's not even stitched. It's just tied together tightly with rope or with string.
Oh.
Oh, so we could literally just undo the rope.
Yeah, and you'd end up with a scrap of cloth with a very crude face stitched onto it somewhere,
Stuffing probably.
and a bit of stuffing and some string. Yeah.
Well, okay. So before that, then I guess, when she squeezes it, does any part of it feel incongruous with the rest of it in terms of material? Like, is there anything hard in it, or like a different consistency, that kind of thing?
Nope. It doesn't have any flesh or glass or anything like that. It's made of cloth and.
What if it's filled with umbilical cord?
Well, the umbilical cord we discovered before was pretty tough and
Does
sinewy.
it smell? Does it
Like-
smell like anything?
No, it does not smell like umbilical cord.
Did we keep that umbilical cord?
I have
Yes.
no idea.
Zega
Yeah,
still
we
has
kept,
it
we
on
kept
him.
the umbilical cord.
Who's holding the umbilical cord?
Not
Can y'all
it.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Zega has it on him.
Oh,
Zigger is walking around town with an umbilical cord.
I have it packed away, not only in my possession, but it's also packed away in a vial. Like it's
Sure.
not just like loosely draped over the rest of his possessions.
You're not fucking prom night dumpster baby swinging it around.
Yeah, no, it's in a vial.
Sure.
Or wearing like a fashionable scarf?
I don't think it's that long, and because it was only like a tiny segment of it. It's not like the entirety of the umbilical cord.
Maybe you could like stick a needle into it and wear it as a pendant or something.
Oh, I mean, OC in my head, I'm thinking about trying to discern true name on it, but
That would indicate some very cursed things are happening. But the ring had read as magical, right? So.
Well, no. So my spell is to uncover something's true name. If the umbilical cord is a part of a person, I should get their
Yeah.
name.
I thought you meant on the doll. That's why.
Oh, both are possible things that I would consider doing.
See, well, if we have no clues by I guess the metaphorical end of the day, then that's probably a good thing to do. But it takes a while, right?
Yeah, a few
I
hours.
think, given how long that we've attempted to look into things, more than likely the interrogation from the guardsman is likely completed. We may want to take the doll back to the boy and not give it to him necessarily, but
See if he
see if
reacts
we
with
can,
horror.
see if we can get some information one way or the other.
Got it.
Because he's the only person that knows what's going on, he's likely going to be extraordinarily traumatized from not only the experience but the interrogation, because I doubt it was conducted extremely by licensed psychiatrists.
Well, they're probably not out there waterboarding him, but
Right, and I assume that they have some base level of concern for him because they knew him as a townsperson, and he didn't exhibit any signs of. But they're also guardsmen that have no training whatsoever in psychology. So yeah, there's concerns there.
We can head back. That's reasonable, I think.
Do we
Yeah,
not
so-
want to maybe ask Patrick if he's seen the doll before?
We
He-
did.
Well, we showed it to him, and he was extremely traumatized by by the sight of it.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
My bad.
But it was
extremely
I don't think it-
traumatized might be overselling it slightly. But yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. But it was not about the doll itself. It didn't look like. I didn't get the impression it was about the doll. It was about the fact that it was connected to Ben.
If it were the doll, I'd be worried.
I mean, that was the impression we got, right?
Yeah,
It was about Ben more than it was about the doll.
It was probably more about Ben and Clarissa and the situation more than it was about the literal fabric doll. Yes.
yeah. Okay, well, that seems like as good a suggestion as any for us to go back and ask the lad himself if we are allowed to.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we would be stopped at this point.
Okay, so you're gonna head out away from here.
Yeah, we'll take the
Yep.
doll with us and head to the station.
As you are leaving, Patrick calls over to you and says, "Hey, whoa, what are you doing over here?"
We were investigating the scene. We're headed to the guard station now to talk about what we discovered.
What you discovered about what?
Well, not very much. We were actually going to go talk to the boy, Ben, and see.
You know what, sir? Maybe we're just mistaken. You know, maybe we got a little turned around. We're real sorry. We'll just get going.
Does he seem completely unaware of the situation? Like that, what was going on?
He seems like a mildly stressed businessman.
B is going to hold up the doll and ask him, "Do you?" Well, one more question, and we'll be out of your hair. Do you recognize this by any chance?
I mean, it's a doll.
And she smiles at him and says, "He was worth a try." But we'll be out of your hair now.
If I find anything stolen from this shop, I'm gonna tell the guards that you were here.
We
I mean,
didn't steal
that's
anything.
fine. You're not gonna, but you know, have a good day.
Okay, good.
As we're leaving, I'll
Festival
cast
weirdos, Jesus.
as we're leaving, I'll cast detect magic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. Cool. What?
Okay. So he got-
Sorry, I'm stuck on the noise that just happened. Yes, I won't.
So he got memory hold.
I wonder if there was a guy here all along. Wonder if it was the suspicious fellow in the doing the mortar and pestling. By any chance?
We'll never know.
Yeah. Is there anyone? Probably not. But is there anyone here who wasn't here before?
Would
As
you
we're
like?
leaving?
Would you like to do a perception?
Yes, please.
Okay. Would anyone else like to do a perception on the back of that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
actually,
Chris
yeah.
is obviously looking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
Did I
Yeah.
actually roll or did it not? I did, yeah, good.
Everybody except B is a fucking idiot.
Hey B.
Yeah.
For a very brief moment before it ducks out of view, you see a hooded mask at the top of the building.
Fuck.
Is the magic that was detected, was it just on Patrick, or is it on the area?
It was just on Patrick, I think. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can detect magic as well. But yeah, okay. Then,
B is going to say very quickly to the others, if I get arrested, please try to bail me out.
Oh no, that's never a
I-
good start to a scheme.
Wait, I beg your fucking pardon.
She's going to, upon spotting the guy and after saying that very quickly to the party, she's going to immediately bolt towards the ladder and try to climb up as fast as she can.
Okay.
Oh
Eventually.
lord, she going.
okay. Ziga is going to immediately start fast talking Patrick, and trying to basically just cover as quickly as he can the story of who we are, why we came, the fact that he's already given us permission to be up here before, and he's forgotten, and we suspect that there's some sort of enchantments taking place here.
Okay. Would anyone else like to do anything before we start resolving things?
No, I'm good.
You're gonna hang out. Where are you at the moment? Actually,
Me?
that's relevant.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, where is the rest of the party at this moment? Like, how far did we get?
you
really?
were like here when he yelled at you.
And B is effectively over here somewhere.
B's legged it up the top. Zigger's gonna be
Wait.
by Patrick presumably.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess Tulip will go after B then. Not to fucking make a bigger ass of herself.
Okay, and Chris?
I'm not really going to interact with it. I'm kind of just waiting and seeing what actually happens, I think.
Okay. So when you get to fuck, I didn't actually have the icon for this. Why did I not make an icon for this? Okay, I'm going to use another townsfolk, but I'm going to give it another label.
Sure.
It's spooky, right?
Spooky.
So when you get to the top, you see the figure with a mask and a robe standing at the back of the building, and they are looking at you.
Alright.
Menacingly.
Square up. Yeah.
All right. So B was probably the first one up, and she is not going to hesitate much at all. She's not going to get right up next to the figure, but she is gonna, and like they're just staring. They're not making any motion as if to keep escaping, that kind of thing.
Not currently, no. I'm going to move you back there. No, they're kind of like watching and waiting to see what you're going to do. And obviously, because they're wearing a mask, they are pretty much unreadable.
Sure. So B is gonna like sidle around the person who's like here, and she's going to kind of dash up, not right next to the person, but like to get closer. Let's say within like spell casting range. Although I realize that probably means I'm in spell casting range of them as well.
So are you taking an offensive action?
No. She is gonna run up to here and just shout at the person. Who are you?
You do not get a response, and
Sure.
they raise their arm up beside themselves.
Beside, like, as in, like, how do I describe this?
Like as if trying to
Forward or-
like pull something up from the ground beside them.
Okay, sure. Just one arm?
Just one arm. Just their
Okay.
what would that be? Their right arm.
Sure. Is anyone else paying attention to the person at all, or are they just staring at B or not paying attention at all?
They are not paying attention at all.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything? Is the person's right hand like clenched into fist, or is there anything visible that they're holding?
They are not holding anything. Their middle finger and thumb are touching, and all of their other fingers are kind of up.
If that is the case, does that seem like something that could be a somatic action for a spellcast?
Oh yeah.
I don't. Okay. All right. I think. Let's see here.
Tulip, you would be incredible if you charged this guy and took his mask.
I mean, that was the plan, but like.
So
he's-
yeah, I
Just
think
run
I'll
up and snatch the mask from this guy.
yeah, I'll probably do one thing and then I'll say that Tulip is probably like very close behind me kind of thing. I want to cast Gust of Wind at this fellow.
That will immediately put us in initiative.
Yes, I suspect so.
Okay.
It is at least a non-lethal offensive action, so if they're a well-meaning person, then hopefully they won't hold it
Yep,
against me.
the friendly neighborhood, well-meaning umbilical cord man.
Never saw them actually like.
The umbilical cord man.
What is their initiative?
A 3, apparently.
Well, the roll is a 3, but they have a modifier.
Well, it's probably higher than a. They have.
Tulip's initiative did not go in
Oh, okay.
because I think you weren't clicked on the icon. I really need to do something to make that better at some point, but I keep forgetting.
Hey, it's the
That
same
went
thing.
in. Are you in, Zigger?
What? No. I'm speaking with Patrick and trying to get them not arrested.
Yeah, but we're still in the initiative. I
Oh,
believe.
I
The
guess.
combat
good.
is happening in the
You
area.
may not do anything, but it's just if we somehow get involved, then we have an order.
Okay, yeah, then I guess I'm a 9, but yeah. I'm so far away. I don't unless they literally comes running past me. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it.
Okay. That raised hand, they snap their finger.
Okay.
Like literally, like just snap.
Off. Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
click, and something appears.
Ah, fuck. Is that a
Um,
skeletal hand that I see?
What the fuck is that?
Just a thin hand.
Oh, he big.
He
That
big.
is a large thing.
Yeah, that is kind of a large thing. That's problem right there.
He big.
Oh lord, he big.
Yeah, I know it's the perception. What's the perception? The perception is that. Okay. No, I wanted to do that, and then that, and then it will do a thing. It's just gonna reach over to the worker next to it
Fuck.
and
Oh,
and like encompass its entire head in its spindly, spiky hand.
Okay.
It's got
That's not cool.
like all the way down from the crown to like the fingertips are just brushing their neck, and they're just working away.
Stop. It's just a Velma Dinkley style. You stop that.
Chris, you can just about make out something really fucking spooky on the roof.
Right. Okay. I mean,
Did it not attack? It literally just
Wrapped its hand
Uh,
around.
Yes.
Its
yeah,
face.
like it almost does it look like it's preparing to do something, or does it look like it's holding its action to forestall us doing anything negative under the threat of it killing this person? Like what is the read on this?
who the fuck knows?
Well, like no, I mean, is it looking to us to see if we
Oh,
act
it's watching Bee and Tulip.
I mean, I will, I guess, just
like I'm wondering if it's creating some sort of spectral hostage situation, basically.
That would not be an unreasonable assumption.
yeah, I don't know. We can't like mind read it, so who knows? Is the way up onto the roof over here? Sorry, do I have to go? This is the ladder, right?
This ladder, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 10, 20, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20 here, and then I guess I'm gonna walk over as close as I can manage.
Yep.
Which I guess is there.
Yeah, I could believe that. I think I counted that correctly.
Which point, yeah, I can't do anything else, so go.
Tulip.
Oh, jeez. If I walk over there, this guy's gonna fucking die, isn't he? I think I can get over here in 2 moves. Oh, this guy's gonna die. Alright, I move here and prepare to face the sins of my actions. Let's go, bastard sword.
Okay.
That will miss.
What? No, wait, what? Am I not allowed to hit this thing?
I mean, you're allowed to hit it. If
you missed.
You missed.
All right, here's the thing. That would miss Zigger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably has like a decent more AC than some of the mooks we've fought so far. Don't know how high, but
Really, an 18? Damn. Okay.
Unfortunately,
well,
so.
That's my turn.
It will then act.
crush this
How odd.
head like a sparrow's egg.
It will do.
Kind of mind control stuff.
Do I want to press a button and reveal things? No, I'm just gonna roll it.
Fair enough, yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna GM roll it. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah.
So it closes its hand, and you would kind of expect that to be rather lethal. But the hand seems to disappear into the person's head, and they just kind of fall over.
Oh. Well, that is unnerving.
B.
Okay. She's going to grit her teeth, and I am going to, I think, spend one action doing creature identification, which is why I posted the table in Discord.
Oh, you posted a table in Discord.
Yes. Based on the creature type this is, what is the like multiple skill that is relevant here?
Occultism.
Occultism. Okay, that's unfortunate, but we'll do that.
You could maybe get away with religion.
I see.
It would be a harder DC.
Yeah, I think I'd be this more or less the same either way.
Okay. This is Do you get that from that? What do you need for that?
I think there is a DC table somewhere.
Yeah, PF2 creature identification.
DCs per level. Here. It's based on the things level, I believe, and with any modification that you deem appropriate.
Sure. Let me double check real quick.
Which means that if this is anything above 5th level, then it fails, and then unless there's a modification involved, in which case, whatever.
So a successful identification would tell you what it is, right?
It would tell me. I don't think it's. Let's see. Learns one of the creature's best known attributes. I think it may, like, if it. It doesn't specifically say what it is, but if. Yeah, it may not. It may or may not tell me what it is. That's, I think, up to you. But it tells me something about it, one of its better known attributes.
Sure. I am going to tell you, and this may not be a surprise, that it is ethereal.
Got it. Okay. That is good to know. Not surprising, as you may have said, but that's great. Okay, and then 2 actions left. Ethereal. Does this even work on ethereal? Let's see. I think ethereal things are generally immune to prone, right? Technically, this is wind. It doesn't say anything about. I mean, wind is a physical thing, I guess. So.
I mean, unless it has like a flight speed or something like that. If it walks on the ground, even if it is ethereal, I don't think it would be immune to prone.
Is it floating visibly?
No.
Or is it...
No, it appears to be stood on the ground. On the roof.
Sure. She will indeed cast Gust of Wind, with it passing through it and at the person behind as well.
Sure.
I'm just gonna use my electric arc because the DC is the same. But it is a fort save.
Sure. It passes.
Okay. And the blind.
Remind me what that does? Is it just knock them over?
Failure is knocked prone. Yeah.
Sure. They're fine.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. That is B's turn.
Okay, Zigga, are you still on with Patrick?
So I was up until this, because I can see largely this taking place. Zigga is going to say, "Oh shit," and point to all of this taking place and ask Patrick if he can see it. And without waiting for a response from Patrick, I'm going to say, I hope that you believe me, but I don't have time to find out if you do or not. Go get the guard, and he'll take off.
Either way, the guard needs to be called.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so Zigga is going to take off towards the scene of the incident.
Okay.
How far can I move? 4 times?
3 times.
3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
He should
11,
end up
12, 13,
basically
14,
next to Chris.
15.
Oh, I didn't go through here. Yeah,
Yeah, I
forgot
went
we could just
straight.
walk through that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like the squares like coincide with these. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I went straight through the vats.
Sure. It is up. This horror of horrors. It is going to appear to yell at B, I think, as the person who came forward first and probably did the most to it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm then going to start typing in my Windows search bar because I didn't have the thing focused. Does that hit you?
It does, yes.
Does it crit you?
No, it does not.
Take that much non-lethal damage.
That is a lot of non-lethal damage. That is exactly as much non-lethal damage as B has health.
Okay, I think B falls over.
Yes. Quite a shout. They have quite the lungs on incorporeal lungs on them.
They do.
Okay.
And then the robed masked figure that started it all is going to, around the weird big thing, give Tulip a happy little wave,
Fuck.
Bitch.
and then just kind of fucking step into nothingness, into the wall of the cliff, and disappear.
Bitch.
And as it does so, the big thing also disappears.
How did it step into the wall?
It appeared to kind of meet the darker areas of it and travel through them.
So it looked like it was traveling through the shadows more than the wall itself.
Potentially.
Okay. And none of us have ever seen that sort of creature before that it summoned.
No.
Could I see it from where I was, considering its size?
Yes.
Mm. Can I
Alright,
attempt the same identification check?
Yes.
Then I will do an occultism check.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I crit.
wow.
You've read about these.
What is it?
I was gonna say, considering the investigations that you've done.
Yeah. This is an anger phantom.
Which means what? What do they do?
It is a type of lost soul bound to the mortal world by undying anger or a bitter grudge. And you suspect that this particular one was an eidolon.
So it's like a grief or rage ghost or something.
Yes, specifically summoned by someone who has great power over summons. A summoner, if you will.
Right. Okay.
I mean, Chris is gonna run up the stairs at this point, and because I assume I could see the altercation happen where B just fell the fuck over.
Yes.
It will sort of run up the stairs and check that B is not actually dead, or
Yeah.
hopefully.
B first, and then the random citizen.
It probably looks, for all seeming, that B just straight up fainted.
Right. Okay.
So she's probably semi-lucid, groggy, and confused at the moment.
And what about the person?
A very similar state, actually.
Okay.
And no one else seems to be reacting to it at all.
Like they're just doing their regular duties?
Yeah, they're laying out the fabrics and dyeing the fabrics and doing various things with the fabrics.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think at this point we can very safely assume where we previously thought that they were probably related, we can definitely assume that they're related now. If nothing else, that we got that much. Did Patrick go to run to get the guard like we asked him to?
Nope.
Did
Yeah, I
Patrick
didn't think
seem
he
to
would.
interpret, like, did he see the creature that was on the rooftop whenever Zigga asked him?
He didn't seem to.
Did
In
he
fact,
react
at the
to
moment, he's looking very angry and like he's going to come and storm all over there to tell you to get your dirty boots off of his fabric.
Okay, well that's fine. He can come. He can get the guard to tell us to piss off. Because either way, he gets the guard. But yeah, no. Okay, so Zika is going to particularly focus on this person that got knocked out. As they're coming to, do they seem lucid in the sense of like fully lucid, or do they seem like they're going to start like robotically continuing to work?
Do me a medicine check.
Okay. What is medicine? Medicine is a wisdom skill. That's
Yes.
gonna be unfortunate.
You might not roll a 1. Hey, you rolled a 3. You're reasonably familiar with people who have fainted or been knocked unconscious or otherwise rendered,
Unable to move.
Well, I guess
Yes.
I don't on this particular thing. I don't need to make a check per se because I don't need to get information beyond just do they seem like they're recovering from being knocked unconscious and relatively nonplussed about it, or do they seem distressed that they were just suddenly knocked unconscious? Because that'll tell me all I need to know.
They aren't quite recovered enough to be distressed, but
Okay.
they also aren't like immediately shaking it off and getting back to work.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we need to go since Patrick is not being very useful, and he'll like look down at
Not
Patrick
being
and says,
very useful. Being mind fucked by magic. Idiot. Why aren't you being more helpful?
Yeah, why aren't you better able to resist like the powerful magic of this unknown spellcaster level 1 peasant? And well, yeah, I mean he might be a level 2 commoner instead of a level 1 commoner. And I don't even know if their NPC classes still exist in modern versions of D&D. But yeah, I think there's nothing more for us here. So, helping B down the ladder, and we need to go report this to the guard. Did we get anything physical? Any physical evidence of any kind from this encounter up here on the rooftop?
Nope, not a scrap.
Okay. There wasn't anything like a umbilical cord or anything like that.
No.
I say that
on
and
the
I
cache, was there an umbilical cord?
I mean, that is a reasonable question to ask.
No. I'm just joking. It just sounds so silly. It's just like, oh, they didn't leave behind like an umbilical cord or anything. It's just so bonkers. The questions
well,
you ask.
if there wasn't like extenuating context that would make that conversation seem more reasonable, then I could understand how out of context that would sound absurd. But
Yeah, I know. I'm just laughing at how insane the questions are that you end up asking in role plays.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then I guess without any sort of physical evidence, we will get B up and moving and get down the ladder, and I don't think there's any reason to pay Patrick any more mind than we're physically required to if he tries to stop us or something.
He's mostly telling you to get the fuck out of his shop.
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, we're
So
already
we're
leaving,
gonna get the
so...
fuck out of his shop. So we're gonna head back to the station.
Okay. Patrick doesn't prevent you from leaving this time, so that works out quite happily. I will move us back to this one. Are you going to make your way back up here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You arrive at the station.
All right. So Zigga will confer with Chris and Tulip. No, Chris was it? No, it was B and Tulip. To determine the names of the officer that was in charge of the interrogation and the case and everything like that. Like whoever the superior officer is that's working on it, and ask to speak to them directly.
What? Who, why?
Regarding the case of Clarissa and her son Ben.
Who?
If we
It's
look
sort of
at-
like... Chris is, by the way, stood right over by the door, and when this conversation starts happening, he sort of nods to himself and just steps outside.
Do you have a child in custody right now named Ben?
We don't typically lock up kids, no.
Okay, are you familiar with a kid named Ben that lives in town? His mother's Clarissa, and they are both. She's a tailor.
No, have you asked Patrick or
Yeah, Patrick was her employer.
well, did he help?
He was not able to help. No.
Well,
But are you familiar with who I'm speaking about?
no.
Okay. All right. I guess that's it then. Actually, tell you what. Could I speak to the what would be the name of um the guard captain, I guess.
Let's say staff sergeant.
Okay. Could I speak to the staff sergeant for a moment, please?
What is it regarding?
It's confidential.
It's not confidential to me.
I believe there is some sort of mass enchantment going on over the town that is causing people to forget things. You should have a child in custody right now by the name of Ben. He just recently murdered a woman this morning, and your forces just recently brought him in for questioning and interrogated him for several hours. But it doesn't seem like you remember any of this, and so I would like to speak to the staff sergeant to report it.
He gives you a big sigh and a long-suffering look of why do we have to deal with all the crazies.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like I'm Ziga is put out to the point where it doesn't like he's not raving like a conspiracy theorist. He's more of just frustrated that like none of this seems to be something that anybody remembers, and so like I'd like to think that he sounds credible.
well, the best
Even if
crazies
he's
always
saying-
do.
Yeah, even if what he's saying sounds fantastical, like that he personally doesn't sound like manic or anything like that.
Sure. The guy's gonna take you down the hall to what would normally be a questioning room, but he isn't gonna sit there and question you. He's gonna put some paper in front of you and ask you to write a statement.
Okay. And Ziga will provide a statement.
Okay.
A very well written statement
Yes.
of basically the approximately like everything that we've told them thus far, along with the events that took place in Patrick's workshop, noting the fact that Patrick and the workers were completely oblivious to everything that happened. Like that they were not unaware of anything that took place.
Sure.
And then also the fact that the guardsmen themselves were also mind wiped,
Sure.
for lack of a better word.
And he's gonna take your statement, and you can hear him. He's gonna leave you in that room for just a moment, and you can hear him
Okay.
close the door and walk down the hall and open another
Wow.
door. And go in and start speaking to someone, and you can hear the words religious fanatic, crystal worshipper, out of towner, drugs, potions.
All right. Okay, that's a lot words right there.
And then
Why-
and then you
Why
can
that name package?
and then you can hear him leave that room and then come back up the hall and then come back in and say, okay, Mr. Ziga, we've received your statement. We'll be looking further into it.
I bet you will. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're fucking not. You fucking liar.
Ziga just
We
like
have
heavily
ears.
Ziga just like heavily sighs and like, okay, fine, sure. I'm a crystal worshipping fanatic, blah 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 blah. I literally have no fucks to give about these crystals. Like I not hear about that at all. And I'm trying to do a public service, but all right, blow me off, fine, whatever.
And he'll show you out. And he's, the perfect facsimile of politeness.
Yeah,
Okay.
he fucking wishes. Trash talking little bitch.
All right. And okay. Do we have any other? Is there any other position of authority in town?
The church.
Yeah, I was going to ask: is the church existing in the town?
Oh yeah, they've got a big old temple up the top here.
Okay. Zigos wants to pursue this further and report it to the church as well.
Why
And he'll
weren't we
perform.
impacted? Sorry.
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
a
Is like,
question we want an answer to.
because it's like it's one thing to mind wipe a tailory with no real mental opposition, but like you would presume that a guardhouse would be sort of warded against that sort of thing. And maybe the individual guards themselves are not capable, but also magic that would be capable of like affecting every single person in town like that, or every single person within that guardhouse. That's pretty intense shit. And not only that, but the physical of like they would have had to have got Ben out too. Probably killed him and removed him, but or at the very least kidnapped him. Like how did they do all that shit?
To be fair, if they were able to make the people on the roof oblivious to everything that was happening right beside them, they could probably do that to the guardhouse too.
Well, no, because that seems like it would be an illusion spell or something like that, where they just kind of like.
I don't think they. I mean, unless if you. I mean, I don't know if you will read magic or anything here, but I suspect the guardhouse is not warded against it because it's probably not a very. It's not like a very high profile police force here. I don't think. It's like a.
Maybe.
It's like a smaller.
It is societally frowned upon to start doing weird wizardry right outside guardhouses, for what it's worth. That's
Right.
kinda sus.
Or alternatively, and this is unfortunate as well, it could be that they've just simply paid off. Like whatever institution that's doing this, like I'm gonna call them the Dark Brotherhood for lack of a better option. They just like have these guys in their back pocket, and they don't need magic. Like, they may, or maybe it's a combination of the two, where like the staff sergeant is completely under the payroll, and he just looks the other way as his subordinates get mind wiped periodically to keep him in line.
That's
But
possible.
yeah,
I will still say that the magical way seems more likely at this point to me. It seems like they're powerful enough to do it.
yeah, that seems like extraordinarily powerful magic. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
to mind wipe an entire station. Actually, that really makes me wonder. Like, as we're walking around through town headed towards the church, what about the gossip? Are they still talking about Clarissa and Ben in the town? Like, presumably that's a major event, so we would likely hear about it if it was going to be.
You don't hear names, and it seems a lot more vague than it was before.
So, like, there was a stabbing this morning,
Yeah,
but they don't.
it was.
Nobody knows who it was.
It was horrible. They say there was blood everywhere, and someone died. It's never a first-hand account, though.
Gotcha. So the physical event still took place. People still remember it, but they don't remember any details. Like, it was less like, okay, hold on. What if it wasn't like an enchantment of people being, like, their memories being wiped actively? It was instead that, like, Ben and Clarissa just got memory hold. Like, they don't exist anymore as entities.
yeah, like a more of a meta event kind of thing.
Yeah. Like their true name or whatever got wiped from existence or something. I don't know.
That's probably also powerful magic, but on a different.
Do we still have the doll? We do, right?
No
Yeah,
one's discarded it, so unless someone wants
Zigga
to
still has
retcon
it
that,
on his
Okay,
body.
good. We
Or-
still got the doll.
Yeah.
Cool. That's important. And we still got the umbilical cord thing, right?
Well, I was planning on taking the doll to Ben, to talk to him, but I guess that's not going to happen now.
I somehow doubt it. Yeah, no. Chris will sort of when you guys walk out the guard station, he'll be like, "Yeah, I did wonder if they were going to remember anything or not."
I didn't expect that it was going to happen here. Like I was actually kind of taken aback that it happened here.
But once we've sorted that out, he'll look at everyone and be like, so I can try and figure out what's going on, but it's going to take me a while. And
Yeah.
he'll gesture and be like, if you can give me the doll, we can spend some time and try and find him through it, I guess. Or something along those lines.
I have a dumb little sister question for Chris.
Chris will sort of look at you. What's up?
Like the ring or the stone that we got, are
Hmm.
either of them doing anything weird at present?
Chris is wearing the ring, so he sort of looks at it and is like, nope.
What's
Hmm.
the stone? What are you talking about? The stone?
The secret message stone.
Oh, I don't have
right,
the stone.
right.
I don't have
Okay.
that.
I don't know
Um,
who has that. B maybe?
Possibly.
I
think
think
it
you were the one that retrieved it.
Yes? Question mark.
Someone
Is
has
that-
the stone.
Yes, I think it is within our possession somewhere. If it's B, then it's B. B, I would say, is probably still like unconscious or semi-conscious and being carried around by Tulip, most likely. So she
Probably.
is probably not in the best state to answer that question, but you can rifle through her bag if you want to.
I think you recover non-lethal damage pretty quickly. Like, I want to say it's like 1 every 15 minutes back in the old rules.
I believe it recovers at the same speed as normal. It just can't kill you now.
Oh, okay.
But I'll have to check that. Just
Oh, well,
to
then,
be sure.
in which case you're still like completely incapacitated.
Like
Almost.
you're out of combat, so you're at 1.
When you're when your non-lethal damage equals your current hit points, you're staggered. You are not
Oh.
actually conscious when it was exactly my health.
It
hit
was
points.
exactly non-lethal.
Yes. If it's more than that, then you fall unconscious. So I guess technically B is awake, but just very groggy.
Yes.
So wait. So we discovered the doll. It started fucking around with Chris for a little bit. And then everybody pretty much started forgetting the moment that thing appeared. Was okay, this is
No,
stupid.
no.
Like this is Tulip stupid, but like maybe the doll was like actually Ben trying to tell us something. Maybe the entity took him as like an apprentice or something. I don't know, but it feels like something was done as direct intervention here on our behalf.
I don't think that the doll had anything to do with it. But I am curious as to why the doll was being batted around.
I
That
think
seems like playful behavior that I don't think that we would expect to see out of like our mysterious antagonist.
no, I think that's actually perfectly expected because they gave you a little they gave I think Tulip a little friendly wave after before they left.
yeah, that is the main
And
reason
they-
why I.
Was that actually in character?
Yeah.
Yes, and
Oh,
they
okay.
were very much going easy on us. Like if they wanted to get rid of us, they could have easily killed us. No one noticed anything anyway. So it seems like for whatever reason they're trolling us. Which may also be the reason why we are not affected by the effect. It may have been they chose for whatever reason to exempt us from it. It's definitely not clear why they would have done that, but I can see that being the case.
You know, it really bugs me. Like I'm not sure how much of this is like actually narrative versus like tropey. And so I don't want to complain too much if it's tropey and not narrative, but it bugs me that like as guards they would like there's all this talk of like this vague somebody was killed at the event this morning and like no actual suspects or victims or anything like that, but everybody seems to remember a murder taking place. And then somebody walks into the station and gives a full account of who was murdered and that memories were wiped, and they were just like blasé about the whole thing. Like, at the very least, they have the quote unquote physical evidence of everybody seeming to remember a murder and somebody coming in with the exact details of who was murdered, and, you know, they don't even care. You know?
That is certainly noteworthy.
I'm not quite sure what you're looking for in response to that. Like
well, no, it's like
there is a narrative puzzle being displayed. We don't have the answers yet. Like
right. I'm more concerned about the behavior of the guardhouse. Even if they thought that we were just like religious fanatics, the very fact that like the entire town is abuzz with news of a murder that nobody seems to know the exact details of, and then somebody comes in with the exact details of what happened, and although you personally can't remember it, they're telling you that that's part of the component of it is that you like it's wiping people's memories. And
So
even if you were necessarily predisposed to thinking that they were just religious fanatics, the fact that they can like properly bring up details of a murder that supposedly took place that nobody knows anything about, that seems like it would be very worthy of consideration, I guess. And the fact that they were ambivalent about it is really weird.
So yeah, so I think that's a valid question. The fact that Fish just acknowledged it suggests to me that there is a reason behind it, but it is not clear to us.
Right, right, and I'm not necessarily. This is not a knock on Fish because obviously this could be part of the narrative, which because I brought that up at the very beginning. I don't know if it's a narrative or tropey thing, but if it's part of the narrative, then it's part of the narrative.
Well, like the guards were saying that they deal with crazies all the time, right? Maybe this is a fairly regular occurrence of people reporting something like this and the guards just being like, yeah, uh-huh, sure.
This isn't the only guardhouse either.
Oh.
There are other guardhouses in town. This is the northeastern one for the underground.
Right, but is this the main guardhouse?
No, this was just the one that was closest to the event
Okay.
that happened.
In that case, I would like to go the main guardhouse, and report, and I'd pretty much give the exact same report that I gave to the staff sergeant, except the fact that I gave the
while
report to the
that's
staff.
going on, can I walk back to oh God, what's her name? Her house, the lady's house.
Clarissa's house.
Clarissa's, thank you.
Yes. Right. Let's go to. Fuck. Right click to back here. So the main guardhouse is here.
I did not see that thing.
Yeah, I didn't. catch
Oh,
it
there,
either.
sure.
Okay.
Is that X that's on the map on this above ground? Is that the same X that's on the below ground? And it just happened to be transposed?
Yeah, they're just. I have both maps on the same Roll20 page.
Gotcha.
And I'm just pushing one to the back. So that X is just where Clarissa's house is.
Okay. So then I guess we'll go to. I guess if the main guardhouse is literally directly above the tannery that we just went to.
Correct.
That's ominous. I don't know if that means anything, but that's ominous.
So are we splitting the party again?
Are we?
Well, Chris has kind of abandoned the idea of actually getting any answers out of the guard, so he'll be going to Clarissa's house to see whether it's still in the state it was, basically.
Sure.
Or whether it's changed. Or even whether it's still being guarded.
One of us should go with Chris. Tulip will volunteer if B's more into the Zigga situation.
I don't know if it will yield results, but I want to pursue it because I think even if it doesn't yield results, it might give us more insight as to what we're dealing with, which kind of gives results, even if it doesn't give us the results we look for. You know what I mean? We'll get more information at the very least.
B will probably wander back to the inn to rest for a bit, I think. Most likely.
I imagine that Tulip and Chris can drop her off on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's do Zigga's second report. So an appropriate officer there will, very similar actually to the other one, take you into a separate room and ask you to write a statement.
Okay.
And they will stay there as you write it, and they will but kind of semi-interview you about it, just to kind of prompt you to get the right information down on the page.
Right. And then as I'm finishing up the statement, I'm going to say, I just did this exact same report to the staff sergeant at etc., whatever barracks that was. And they completely blew me off. And, chalked me up as some sort of religious fanatic. I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in this crystal formation. I'm not a religious person. And so I just wanted to let you know it's extremely bizarre to me that the whole town is abuzz with the concept of a murder. I know all of the details of what took place in said murder, and I'd like this to be properly investigated. But I don't even know if you're capable of investigating, because if your guardhouse is under the same compulsions, you may forget about this conversation as soon as I walk out the door.
You do understand that this report is completely insane, yes?
I understand that without any context, you would definitely believe that I was probably just crazy. But again, I point to the fact that the entire town is abuzz with this talk of a murder, and no one seems to know any of the details about said murder. I didn't generate some sort of rumor. And like, everybody seems to vividly remember being at the festival this morning and there being a murder taking place, but nobody knows any of the details. I am providing said details.
I happen to be aware of that particular bit of news, and it is being addressed by the Northeast Underground Guardhouse.
The one that I came from?
Yes, they have it in hand.
Yeah.
I happen to know the Staff Sergeant, and he's a particularly precise and exacting man for this kind of thing.
Okay. I don't mean to disparage anybody, because honestly, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with them as individuals, but it rather could be completely the compulsion that they're under. And I don't know to what extent that is taking place, but are you familiar with the citizens that I'm talking about? Ben and Clarissa?
Not personally, no.
Okay. I mean, they were, yeah, and he'll go on to describe them and everything like that. It's just, assuming for a moment that I wasn't crazy and that you were going to take everything I said at face value and treat me as though you were like genuinely invested in what I'm saying, do you know of any organization that is capable of doing this?
No.
And
God, no.
Have you ever heard of the type of person that we were describing that summoned that creature?
No.
Nothing about that math.
They would certainly be a person of interest to us. We would have tabs on them, or the church would have tabs on them, and we would be told to keep an eye out for them.
Okay, yeah, because that entity, whatever it was, reached into that person's head and just. They seem to be fine, but I imagine that if you go over to Patrick's workshop right now and investigate that person who was just suddenly knocked unconscious, it'll probably be some like concocted story of the fumes got to them and they just passed out or something like that. Like it'll be completely waved away as not relevant at all. And it's just very frustrating because we're being treated as though we're crazy, even though, like, what is my motivation for coming here to lie to you?
Just I don't know. Maybe you're crazy. I don't know. It is possible that you genuinely and truly believe that you saw, or maybe you did actually see via a hallucination, those events occur. They may still have not occurred.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and I have no other physical evidence to prove anything that I'm saying to you. But hopefully, you'll at least take this report under consideration.
I'll send someone down to the tannery to see what's going on, and I will inform the temple to check the Northeast Guardhouse for any untoward happenings.
All right.
That's all I can do.
All right. That's all I can ask for. And so I will finish giving the report and move on.
Okay. Tulip and Chris, down by Clarissa's house.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, I'm just walking along the street whatever you want to call it, corridor,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Tunnel.
And as I go past, I'm not necessarily walking towards the house, but is anyone guarding it anymore?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. If there's no one guarding it, then I'm just gonna walk straight up to it as if I was always going towards it and just sort of walk up,
Yep.
and like knock on the door.
No answer.
I don't get any response.
Nope.
Okay. Has it got windows?
Yes.
I'll just peer through a window and see if there's anyone indoors.
Nope. My house is empty.
Hmm.
Like empty.
Like abandoned, like decrepit, empty, abandoned.
Not
whatever.
decrepit, but not inhabited.
Sure. Okay. And Chris will sort of frown and look back to Tulip and be like, right, well, this is where they lived, and they sure as hell don't live here anymore.
No, it looks like this thing ate their entire fucking existence. Like, it just
Well, no.
straight up gone.
He'll sort of frown and be like, well, not really, right? Because, like, I came here earlier, and it was empty then, too. So it's not like anything's... Because does it look about the same as when I was here before?
No, before it had like furniture and toys.
Oh, right. So there's no furniture or anything. in
No,
there, like it's
it-
completely blank.
The furniture's gone. The kids' dolls are gone. The little
Yeah.
basket with the knitting supplies in it is gone.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to say. They got fucking ate. Like, they're
And
just
then-
gone.
And he'd be like, okay. And then is Tabbit here if I look around?
Yep, Tabbit's back.
Okay.
Stabbed in the house.
He sort of turns and looks at her and it's like...
Tabbit isn't sitting in the house, for the record. Tabbit
Yeah,
is just
no,
with you.
He sort of turns and looks at her and it's like, where did you go earlier?
I didn't go anywhere.
Ah, fuck.
I'm telling you, this thing is just straight up eating fucking reality and memories.
You didn't go anywhere. And Chris, like, genuinely looking concerned at this point, is like, right.
I've been down here with you in this godforsaken catacomb all day.
Okay, something is messing with my head, Tabbit. And he'll explain what happened earlier and be like, so I couldn't see you. Have I gone missing for you any point today?
No. And Tabbit's giving you... Like, you know how cats can give you a side eye?
Yeah.
Well, she is giving you a side eye that is the side eye to normal looking.
End all
Yeah,
side eyes.
Yeah,
yes.
this is side eye squared. She's practically looking at you through the back of her head.
Cats can definitely do that, Nod. Yeah, so okay, so he'll
Like,
frown.
she doesn't disbelieve that you are speaking your truth, but it doesn't
Sure.
add up and she knows it.
Yeah, and he's like, he'll look at her and be like, yeah, I know it's weird. Okay.
Well, why
Hmm.
don't y'all just go through the events of the day from her perspective and see where they start to disalign?
I mean, yeah, that would be the next thing to do. So he'll try and go through the day with her, and just like, you know,
Okay.
walk her through it.
So
what did we do today?
what happened during the day from your perspective?
Oh Christ, you're asking OC memory, like,
I mean, you can do it as a collective group. I'm sure between the four of you can vaguely remember where you went.
Yeah, we went
Yeah.
from our perspective. We went from the crime scene to the like the wrong Taylor, found the where the correct Taylor location is, and the house. We went to the house first,
Yeah.
investigated the home.
Yeah.
Then we met up with the rest of the party and went to the correct Taylor where everything went down, and then we went to the guardhouse.
No. You only went to one Taylor.
which Taylor
Which-
do
which
you remember
Taylor
me
we-
going to?
Yeah.
The one that, for the love of the gods, everywhere had a view of the fucking sky.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we actually did go somewhere else.
what did we do in the interim while you were saying? What did we do for after we left that tailor?
You went to a guardhouse.
Wait, we just spent the entirety of the day at that tailor's place, and then we went to the guardhouse right afterwards?
Yeah.
And we didn't do anything in the interim? We just spent several hours at the wrong guardhouse?
I
Or at the
don't.
wrong tailor?
I don't pass judgment on what you mere mortals do. You do what you're going to do.
No, but what did we physically do? We just stand and play slack-jawed for several hours?
You were talking for however long. I was just enjoying breathing oxygen again.
Damn it. Best fucking NPC.
Thought I'd never see another leaf. Jesus.
Okay, right. Well, so that's good to know. He'll take out the doll because assumedly Chris is holding on to it at this point. And show it to her and be like, "This look weird to you or not?"
Should it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Well, it's not a very good person, is it?
Well, if that's the summation of it, then no, it's not really that important. And then he'll say, "Oh, what was it I saw? A hate. What was it? Tom?
An anger phantom.
An anger phantom." Be like, well, so in the time that you don't remember, we actually encountered someone capable of summoning an anger phantom.
Really?
Anyway, yeah, straight up.
Really?
Yep.
And you're alive?
Yeah, they seem to be just messing with us. I'm not really sure.
I wonder. Okay, Tabit was with us the day of the event. I'm trying to think about what is this. What about us would be special? And the only thing I can think of is the fact that we were present on the day of the event and witnessed the creature, the Mortifer.
Yeah, you remembered it.
Yeah. I can't remember the word that goes before Mortifer, but
It's good enough.
that's the only thing that I can think of that sets us apart and would be why this creature is toying with us. Is maybe it views us as somewhat more worthy than everybody else because we witnessed the creature itself. And thus we're special somehow.
I don't know if we really have a way of figuring that out.
I guess because I'm just wondering, like, most people didn't actually witness it. They just witnessed like the effects of the event, but not the actual creature itself, right? You had to be certain, like, relatively
Well,
close
no,
to actually witness
lots
the
of
creature.
people witnessed the creature. I'm pretty sure that's correct, isn't it, Tom? Like, it was
Yes.
seen by quite a lot of people.
Everyone who was close enough to have, like, actually been able to physically see the photons from it saw it.
Okay,
Through
so that doesn't-
walls and shit. Very...
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that
Very
doesn't set us
specifically.
apart at all.
No.
A significantly smaller portion of people were adversely affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe our proximity to it, like the fact that we lost loved ones and we like literally got right up to the edge of the death wall. Maybe that has something to do with it. I mean, we're speculating purely on nothing at this point because, but it was just like, why are we getting targeted for this creature's this group's? I just feel like this is a group. This doesn't feel like a single individual's actions. Even though, actually, you know, all of the instances of us running across the entity with the iron mask, did it seem like from the build that it was all the same person, like the same individual, or does it look
Ooh.
like it was different individuals each time?
Do me a perception, I think, is probably the most appropriate check, because there isn't really a memory check.
Can everybody make that?
If you voice
Everyone
that
who's seen them, I
as-
suppose.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll voice it, but also I seem to have recalled things fairly well.
Has
thinking-
anyone not seen them at this point?
Everybody's seen the last one at this point for sure.
Yeah, at the very
and-
least.
I saw at least 2, maybe 3 different iterations of it.
Sure.
Because I saw the one that was up on the crystals, and I went to go chase after it.
Yes, true. Who saw the one in the tavern?
Me,
Okay.
I believe.
I've seen the one at the roof, and that's it, I think. Actually, no, I've seen the one on the crystal too, I think. There was one more I saw. I don't remember which one it was.
Sure. As not everyone has rolled. Is anyone else going to roll?
I'm not with the party right now, so I don't think I'm.
You're not with the party right now. You're right.
I guess I may as well. Watch it. Yep.
Watch it, Whip. Watch it, Nay.
No.
Zigga, that last one you did, is that your perception?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now that you think about it, Zigga, probably 2 of them at least.
Okay. So it's definitely not this. Like, okay, that confirms Zigga's idea that it was a group of these people, not just a single person acting out. Which is helpful information. It helps explain why they were able to like completely mind fuck an entire town. To lesser extents and greater extents, obviously. Like the citizens seem to just like remember a murder taking place, but not like who it was, which is relatively minor stuff. But then like some people, like Patrick, are completely mind fucked into not remembering why we were even here, even though we just got there like 15 minutes ago.
Okay. So, what is your next plan?
Well, so we were headed to the temple, but we may not need to go to the temple if they said they were gonna. I actually kind of believe the guy. Like, he didn't seem to blow me off like the same way that the staff sergeant did. And it gave me like a legitimate answer. Not the answer I wanted to hear necessarily, but at least a legitimate answer. That was working within his framework, but not completely blowing me off. And he said he would report it to the church and do some due diligence, and I actually believe that. So I don't think there's a reason for Zigga to go to the church, and also because I was intending on doing that. Like, if he had blown me off, I was going to go to the church. But I believe that he's going to look into it. So I'm not going to bother going to the church. But that does make it like, what is our next move? And I almost kind of wonder, like, do we have a next move that makes sense, or do we want to just stick around in town and wait for it to come to us? Because it keeps coming to us. And I figure if we just wait around in town, we'll eventually come across it again.
I mean, beyond trying to discern the true name from the umbilical cord and or the doll, that I didn't really have a plan. I'm hoping that getting the true name of the umbilical cord will give me something interesting. That's about all I got.
Okay, well, we are at time, so you have plenty of time to think about your next step. We will call it there.
Precisely, yeah.
Think
I
about
wanna-
umbilical cords.
I honestly, like, it makes it feel like we didn't accomplish anything today,
You-
almost. But I know we did.
You did.
And yes. But like in character, it almost feels like if you're thinking about it from like our character's perspective, it feels like we almost at square zero.
No, I think like experiencing all this stuff, all this weirdness is progress of a sort, even in character. We didn't make like We didn't make a ton of positive headway, but it is progress.
Yeah, no, out of character, I'm totally satisfied. I'm just like in character, it feels like it would be super
No,
frustrating.
I'd say-
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would be frustrating, but I'd still think we found things out in character.
You
Like that's not me speaking out of character only.
you moved
Yeah.
a lot, but you didn't necessarily get much closer to your goal. You like moved around it in circles a lot.
Yeah.
But that's still valuable in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ziga's going to start obviously chronicling this for his own. Like, I assume he keeps a journal of sorts.
Oh yeah, this
in
would be
addition to-
huge in the underground zine.
That's literally what I was about to say. It was like he's writing two accounts. He's writing the account that he wants to leave, which is the accurate to the facts, like everything like that. And then he's writing this is for the magazine, which is just a wildly fantastical version of even the wildly fantastic stuff we've already covered up,
Yeah,
which is what his boss wants him to write.
it's all zhuzhed up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's gonna make an income generation check basically, but
Sure.
like that's what he's working towards.
Sure.
While Chris is doing his divining stuff on the true name stuff.
Do you want to make a
An
law
occult check.
thingy, and then yes, an occult check from Chris as well? And if Tulip wants to do anything
Oh,
in
I
their
suck.
downtime,
I will have to try again tomorrow.
If Tulip wants to do what now?
if Tulip wants to do anything fancy with the evening, other than maybe comfort B,
I think it's gonna be probably comforting B. Tulip's kind of at a fucking loss here at this point. She's just like, oh.
Not only comforting B, but like comforting herself because she's not able to comfort Ben because Ben just got memory hold out of existence and she was like super emotionally invested in Ben's well-being.
Yeah, I have more PTSD to deal with. You right? Let me get that fucking
I swear some of this is gonna start paying off soon.
shit. You right?
No, I believe it. I'd rather have the roundabout, like, what the fuck is going on, because like that's how campaigns get like involved and
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
no,
journey,
no,
right?
I absolutely agree. Like it's absolutely it's not great to have like episodic everything gets resolved at the end of the session, sort of nonsense.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta
it's
weave
fun
it
to follow
together
stuff.
a bit.
Yeah.
well, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that one that you fought really did take it easy on you, because that thing has numbers.
Oh,
I can-
does it?
Oh,
yeah, Meta, I could tell it has numbers because
What was so it's a hate
It's an
An
anger
anger-
phantom eidolon.
anger phantom
Is
PF
it an existing feature or is it something that you made?
This is an existing thing.
Oh, here we are. It is a I don't know. It doesn't tell me what level they are.
Like CR9 or something like that.
They aren't a creature. They are a summon.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
okay,
the, mostly it's the enemy himself. Like the caster had an 18 plus bonus to his fort save. If that gives you any indication of the level.
The
probably around-
caster, like as a spellcaster,
Yeah.
18 fort.
Just like this is all meta information, but like probably around like 10th or 11th level at the minimum. Or well, no, not the minimum. If he has magic items, then maybe a little lower. But 10th level would
Still a scary
pretty-
lad.
Either
Pretty-
way, extraordinarily out of our level range.
Oh
But
yeah, like we are not fucking equipped for this lad.
No,
he seems to have a
no.
good sense of humor though, so that's fine. If it is indeed a he, it could be a she.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll
Well,
all
no,
just
I mean,
fucking
it
flirt
could
with them.
be.
Or a golem in a trench coat.
Yeah, everybody get
Um,
out your max flirting game. It's fine. We can do this.
Eidolon abilities: Initial, Furious Strike, Symbiosis, Seething Frenzy, Transcendence, Anger Aura.
Okay.
Be angry in an aura. Yes.
What are Eidolons from?
They are the specific class feature of the summoner class.
Oh,
Jeez.
gotcha.
I gotta get some work done. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Is a summoner an NPC class or?
Nope.
No, it's
Your
just a
player
class.
class.
Oh, gotcha.